What is up, guys? Hey, so we've been meaning to do this for a while. Been patiently waiting to do this spoiler discussion of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. If you enjoy those kind of discussions, and this is gonna be full-on spoiler mode. We've been waiting to talk about this game for a while. Me and James down in the bottom right corner, as you'll see, and then I have two other guests here that have YouTube channels, which is Guardian Gamer and Kate C. Is that how you pronounce it?
It's actually pronounced Cadis. It doesn't look
Cadis?
like it.
Really?
So I totally
okay.
understand. That's why I have everyone call me K.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
tough to pronounce.
Okay.
AK.
Gotcha.
What's going on, guys?
Okay. Alright, cool.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? Guardian Gamer.
So, yeah, so Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has been out for about 6 weeks, almost now. Very long game. Takes so much time. Like, oh my gosh. Took me over 100 hours. Took James over 100 hours. You two kind of flew through it as quick as you could.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna just go by chapters first before we talk about like the side stuff and different things there in those aspects. Also, two of us are wearing the same shirt, so we're like twins tonight apparently.
Yeah.
Hey.
But we'll start off like the game starts, and this threw everyone completely off because even like Maximilian Dude and other people were like, this game's gonna start the way that like the demo was, basically where Cloud and Sephiroth are starting off at Nibelheim and searching for the reactor for Genova or whatever. But no, it starts in Zack's timeline. Like, whoa! Like, you get to play as Zack right off the bat? I was not expecting that.
I mean, my reaction to it is like, I expected the same as you did. I mean, the demos usually, like with Final Fantasy 16, for example, the demo started kind of at the beginning of the game. So I figured that the demo for this game was going to be the beginning of the game. And then like I boot the game up when I'm Zack, and I'm like, did I put Crisis Core in by accident? What's going on? But,
yeah. And some things happen which were kind of in one of the trailers, one of the earlier trailers, where it's like, oh, these people are like dead. Like it looks like, well, we don't know 100% know. They said survivors, but well, I think Red 13 died. He's trying to save Aerith.
Yeah.
Red 13's dead. He's literally dead. We don't know if
Rest in peace.
if Tifa and Barrett, we don't know if they're dead or not. We don't
Avalanche,
even
yeah,
the rest of Avalanche, they're gone. They already were gone. This is after the reactor went off. So Jesse, Biggs, Wedge, they're all gone in Zack's timeline. At least to our knowledge, from what we know. From what we know. But we got to talk about, before we move on, Aerith, the scene, like at the end there of chapter 1. Did anyone think she was dead? Like flat out dead?
like,
No.
are you talking about when she's with Zack?
Yeah, when he's holding her in his
I
arms.
I said no. I said no.
I say no too.
No.
Yeah, it threw me off a little bit because the materia, the white materia, drops like it's like kind of like the original, which I know you haven't played the original, but in Rebirth at the end you see the white materia drop, you know, and that's kind of what happens when she dies. And I was like, wait, what? What's going on here?
Yeah.
So it was just completely threw a lot of people off. What is happening here? So
Which I
Definitely kicking off with a bang.
yeah.
Put you in,
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it had
vibes.
to have been on purpose to like throw us off, I would assume.
Mhm.
But I didn't make the
Like-
game, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's gonna be like a twist or something because shoot, we first started playing as Zack and it's like, oh shoot, now Zack's alive and stuff, and then now we see Aerith, and what happened to her? It's like, okay, what else happened now?
Yeah, because my
Like,
thoughts
since
my
Zack
thoughts
died.
were, before this game came out, I'm like, okay, if Aerith's going to die in like the Rebirth main timeline, then maybe she's gonna live in the Zack timeline, which kind of made some
That's the
sense to
same
me. That kind of made some sense to
Feasible.
me. Yeah,
Those were my thoughts as well.
Yeah.
Same.
yeah. So that was very short. It was only like the first 5 minutes, but it was like, whoa, just a shocker. But then chapter 1 actually starts, and well, first off, playable Sephiroth was amazing.
For sure.
So fun.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
So much fun. I honestly wish there was more of that. I
Dude,
actually
Same.
and before, like, without getting into like I mean, I want to get into talking about part 3, but I want to see more playable Sephiroth. I want to see there's so many things. I have so many things I want to talk about here about Sephiroth and where they might go, what they might do, especially when you come to Ever Crisis, the mobile game, and things that they're doing that they've done there. Like there's stuff with like I haven't played. I don't think any of us have really played it, but we know that they show like a young Sephiroth, like a younger Sephiroth in that game, in some kind of way. And I want to see more of that, but in part 3.
Yes, for
Yes.
sure. Tie it all in together.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I mean, Sephiroth's combat was so fun. Like it was just like, I mean, you felt like you felt like you were playing as Sephiroth. You felt way more powerful than everyone you were fighting, and you felt completely like you were overpowering everything, and it was exactly what I would have wanted if they had told me ahead of time that I was playing as Sephiroth, which they didn't do, which was great because I didn't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cool.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, you basically just playing as a badass. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Level
the
100
way
character.
the way up
Uh-huh.
the way outside of Nibelheim leading to the reactor was just like so cool. Like the music like gave you like a flow of like listen to this just soundtrack of what you're about to hear throughout this entire game. You're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like the original has a great soundtrack. It's wonderful. But they did some very insane stuff with this soundtrack to where like I was tearing up multiple times to music in this game. And the music in games is so powerful that like it's so important. Some like without music in a video game, you have nothing. You don't have the impact that a game is going to give you, and the soundtrack in this game gave you a lot of stuff.
It's basically like just the music itself. This really just tells a story, what's gonna be happening and stuff.
Mhm.
It gave you like a certain emotion of what you're going to expect when you get to a certain part and stuff. And I feel like with the soundtrack of Rebirth, it really captured moments where we could be happy, we could be sad, we get, all these emotions, just like it's like a roller coaster right now with this. And,
Foreshadowing too. A lot of foreshadowing in
That
the
too.
music. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I felt like every single song was placed perfectly with what was happening. Like no song would play and I felt like that didn't fit in that specific area. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like everything
yeah.
fit so perfectly with where it was. It was really like they put a lot of love and time into every little aspect of this game, and
Yeah.
the soundtrack is a big example of that in my opinion.
Yeah, huge
Agreed.
impact.
Agreed.
That's
So before going into like the stuff after the whole Sephiroth Cloud stuff going on, well, first off, the end of the chapter with Sephiroth, the entire thing. Listen, I get it. It was a PS1 game, but the guys with their guns did not try shooting Sephiroth at all. They just stood there, getting closer and closer, and did nothing.
Classic
even-
stormtroopers.
They didn't even attempt to think about shooting.
No.
Like
well,
it was-
they probably didn't do it because they just know that they're fucked. Like, they lost on the way. Like they just know they can't do nothing, so they just stand still and just like, okay, I'm just going to accept my death.
I'm done.
it's just funny because they
Yeah,
ran
done.
up on him like they were ready.
Yeah.
They ran up on him and they're like, "Stop where you are!" And then Sephiroth turns and they're like, never mind, we're all right, we're good."
Mm-hmm.
That entire sequence, that little part was a little bit silly, but outside of that, like I get it. Like it's like they took it from the PS1, so whatever. Plus they're just random NPCs outside of the mayor, so whatever. But like the entire rest of the sequence was so, I had goosebumps like the entire time with Sephiroth's music playing and the fire and oh my gosh, like everything to do with that specific sequence after he found out about his mother and everything and all of that researching for days on end. They recaptured everything from the original to just perfection. Absolute perfection to show you that you played the first game and Sephiroth was in the end and was messing with Cloud's head throughout the game, but the beginning of Rebirth shows you what you're about to see with Sephiroth is going to be so much more, you know. And
Yeah,
it's
I
freaking
mean,
sweet.
to that point, like there's so much we could talk for hours on just like the changes they made, quote unquote changes they made to Sephiroth. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was in one of your videos you were ranking like video game villains, and
Yeah.
you said it like better than I could. Like, he's never been this dangerous and this
No.
like powerful before. And
Nope.
they really, from the jump, made you like understand, like, hey, this is like, he's a problem, and he's going
Yeah.
to be a problem.
Yeah,
He's not here to play.
much more of a problem than he ever was in the past, because the thing is the original, you thought he was so dangerous in the original, but the thing is like, this is a Sephiroth from the future. He knows he lost.
Yep.
He knows he died. He knows everything that happened and went on. So he knows exactly how to change things and mess with Cloud's head and mess with everyone and do things the way he wants to do them, by going through different timelines, changing different things on purpose in order to do things the way that he wants, and it makes him such a huge threat compared to ever before.
Yeah, I agree.
So we end up in Calm after that, and it's a calm town. And beautiful
Yeah, great
music. Yeah, and but this is where we're introduced. Now we'll get into this before we go any further on story stuff. We get introduced pretty much right off the bat to Queen's Blood. Listen, for me, I'm with Maximilian, dude. This is the GOAT of all the mini games, because it was like what Max said. Max said was, it felt like he was in an arcade where every time he went to a new city or town in the game or wherever, he was like, "Where's the Queen's Blood players? I want to face them right now. Like I want to beat them. Like where are they at?" It's just, I didn't think that I would really care for it. I really didn't.
Agreed.
But once I got the hang of it and understood it a little more, I liked it a lot more. Granted, I only had one specific build for a lot of the game, and some of the cards are really confusing to like figure out how to use. So like, especially with like finishing Queen's Blood, I had to look up YouTube stuff in order to beat the Queen, which I know some of you haven't done yet. Me and James did it. The Queen...
Mm-hmm.
It was nuts. There was something even harder than that too, and I had to YouTube how the heck to do this stuff because it got so difficult. But the majority of Queen's Blood, I had my own deck that I built. It worked out pretty well, and it's a lot of fun. Like I like how it's like, once I figured it out and realized, I need as many green spaces as possible. Not a matter of, like, at points it's like not a matter of how many like good cards I have, but like take over the spaces. That way they can play less cards. It was so fun.
Yep. Don't let them progress forward.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like just that with Queen's Blood, in the beginning, like Demon said, it was a little getting used to and stuff, and of course I lost a few matches, but then the more I kept practicing, and just that, like we just said, is that we just made sure that we not let our opponent progress any further by trying to take as much green space as we can, into where we can basically get an easy win. And it's just that because of that alone, practically any like place that I go to, I just look around for any Queen Blood and just keep playing. Like I was having so much fun playing it, and of course the music too.
The music,
it's like a little chill vibe. You just chilling, and you just playing some games with the homies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like I would not be shocked like if they ever make an actual Queen Blood in real life. If they do,
like a mobile game, or
even a mobile
board
game, I would
anything.
play it.
Oh,
even
yeah,
if we like meet up and play locally, I would play it. Shoot.
Okay, you got something to say?
I mean, my experience with Queen's Blood was like up and down. Not because Queen's Blood was bad, but I made like a goal for myself to like stream the whole game, and I during the week I would stream Rebirth for 2 days, and then 2 of my other days I'd stream 2 other games, and that kind of because of that, I had to like kind of put Queen's Blood to the back burner by the end of the game because it was taking me forever to beat the game. So when I first started the game, I would just play Queen's Blood until I beat everyone that I was playing. So like I was playing Chadley and I kept losing. I'm like, I'm not progressing this game until I beat Chadley because I absolutely loved playing Queen's Blood so much and I wanted to get good at it.
Yeah.
But then as the game went on, I was like, you know what? Like, this is something I'm gonna do post game. I'm gonna like really get good at Queen's Blood. But for right now, I really want to find out what happens with our characters. So I don't think I played Queen's Blood as much as you guys did.
Oh.
That being said, I absolutely loved what I played of it, and you'll as we get to know each other better, you'll come to find out. Normally, card games in video games, I'm not a fan of. So I was very surprised with how much I loved Queen's Blood, and I think that like that is something they should do. Like they should make it like you were saying, maybe like a mobile game, or I think they might do like its own standalone thing, kind of like Gwent was for The Witcher.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, they did do that. You're right.
So I think they might do something like that, and if they do, I definitely will spend some time getting good at it. But I do agree with everything you guys said. Like the music for it was great. Like just getting to every town and being like, wow, you have 4 people I can fight on Queen's Blood right now. You get to like that one town, you had to like take out the twins. Like, that was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Finding out who you were gonna play against. You know what I mean? It was just so much fun. But
You
I definitely
faced a
didn't play
dog
as
at
much
one
as you.
point.
Yeah. And then
Now, how do we feel about them forcing you to play Queen's Blood in order to progress the story? How do we feel about that? Because some people aren't happy with that. Some people weren't happy with that.
Thought it was all right.
I mean, I honestly don't really care because I mean, it's just, I play Queen's Blood a lot. I'm like, I just keep playing more of it. Like
Another game.
I didn't mind it. Some people weren't happy with that.
I think we're not the ones to ask because we all liked Queen's Blood.
Yeah.
I think we should ask somebody who didn't like Queen's Blood, and then they
Yeah.
have a different answer. I would say, but
Yeah.
that was like peak when they made you do it. That was like my peak interest for Queen's Blood. So I was like, I'm beating every person on this boat.
Yeah.
It's the last
You were in
thing
the
that I
deep
do.
of it.
Right. Yeah.
Even the robot.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say
yeah.
I had trouble with I didn't have trouble with Red 13. I actually lost like 2 or 3 times to the girl before him. I was just goofing
Oh,
up.
they talking about.
Yeah. I don't remember
Raymond?
whatever her name was. I don't remember. She's a new character.
So
Yeah.
it was weird. Is my hardest character was Chadley, and then I went to that character that you struggled in. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to beat her if Chadley took me like 19 attempts. But then I beat her in like 2. And then I struggled with Red after that, but
Listen,
Challenger.
listen, they did not have to give us such amazing music against Red 13. I was just, that was amazing. It was so good. Could not stop with that music, man. It was just, I was losing my mind over that music, man. The second it just started bopping,
funny.
oh man.
I thought it was so hilarious when Red was trying to sign up for Queen's Blood, and they were like, "No animals allowed," and he started like growling at the person. I'm like, "This is so funny."
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. I did not think that they were gonna put Red 13 in the soldier outfit. In the original K, he is in the soldier outfit, but he's just walking back and forth on the ship. I didn't think they were gonna do that at all. Yeah, because the ship in the original, it's so small and condensed because it's a PS1 game. You don't see many NPCs at all. You see Tifa and you see Aerith in their soldier outfits. You see Barrett in his sailor outfit. Yeah, and you see Red 13 walking back and forth in his soldier outfit. But I was like, okay, I don't think that's gonna be in this game because it was like, how would they put that in here? Like, it didn't make sense. And I was like, they actually did it. I couldn't believe it.
And they went 100% with it.
He did the moonwalk. He did the moonwalk.
It was so good. It was so good.
It was played so perfectly. So well done. All right. So, Chapter 2, Calm is beautiful. It's wonderful. There's a lot of NPCs. Let me say, the NPC interactions in this game, they're so alive. They are so alive. Every NPC that you see, every NPC in the game that you see are doing something, having a new conversation, an interesting conversation. You're interested in what they may have to say, whether they're talking to someone or whatever. It's the stuff that they're saying is just so interesting. They're just interesting, the NPCs. And you don't get that in every game that you play.
I coined it the reverse Spider-Man NPC effect, because if you played the Spider-Man PS4 game, like the NPCs were dead, like they did nothing and like except for react to you falling. Yeah. So I was like, to see the complete opposite in this game was really, really cool.
Spider-Man 2 had a couple. Spider-Man 2 they had a little bit more with NPCs because I seen a couple. There was a couple fun ones.
I just don't know why, but just from being around the town, at least, for just walking around and to see how the NPCs interacting. It just give more life and stuff to where
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. Like there's like one part like when you go to towns, like there's like a certain spot to where like okay, there's something special going on. And I know that the town itself, I think I forgot where it is, but it's kind of like over on the right hand side of the town. There's like a singer or something. I forgot his name, but he just came out and he was just singing to the audience. I was like, oh, so that's like something new and stuff, and that just bring more life to the town in general, and just in general about NPCs. They bring more life to them, so they won't just be
Yeah.
like dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think even one of the Queen's Blood girls, she's like in a fort surrounded by
Oh
boxes, and
yes,
Yeah.
and
You know what
Yeah.
you know what I loved is like when you go to revisit Nibelheim, and then there's like the nurses and they're taking care of the cloaked guys.
the
Like
close guys,
it's just
yeah.
the little things. It's just so cool. The little
yeah, for
things like
She's
that,
singing.
you know? Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, now going backwards a little bit, the piano. Like when you first seen that, it's like
Oh,
the amount of
mhm.
YouTube videos out there of the songs people have made with that piano is ridiculous. Obviously, they took that. There's no doubt that they took an idea from Last of Us Part 2 when they were in development for this game. They were
With
like,
the
oh,
guitar.
wow. Yeah, they were probably like, oh, this is super cool. Let's do something like that for this game, because Rebirth was in early development when Last of Us Part 2 came out in 2020. So it made complete sense for them to be like, oh, let's take this idea and use it for the piano that was in Tifa's room in the original game, and make it to where you can play any songs you want on it, and let people get creative, but also have a challenge where people can play specific songs you unlock in the game, which none of us have unlocked the Sephiroth song. You have to do literally all the challenges and everything, which is ridiculous.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
I've watched it on
Rough
YouTube, and the Sephiroth music on the piano is the hardest thing ever.
Is it just One
Oh,
Winged Angel?
jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
great
I
though.
can imagine.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'm gonna probably do
Yikes.
that post game and stuff when I get to that point. I ain't get that far into it.
The piano song, the last
Yeah.
one to get the like trophy for Johnny is, or actually I think there's an actual trophy too for the piano songs.
Yeah.
The last one you do is challenging to
6
get an
songs.
A rank. To get an A rank, it took me a minute. I had to, in order to get it, I had to turn on Spotify music, mute my game, and just keep trying, because the last song I kept getting a B rank for like it took me forever. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
just shy of it.
Some of them are hard, and I made the mistake of like never having done it. Like when I played the demo, they gave you like a sheet music right away, and I had never
Oh,
done it.
yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna play this on
Mhm.
hard. Like, how hard can it be? Let's just max difficulty. And it like started, and I was like, oh my god, never mind, back up.
Back up, back up.
There's also a side quest
Shoot.
later in the game, which I will say it involves Tifa's cat, and it's in Nibelheim the second time when you revisit it,
Mhm.
and you play the Tifa theme in her room when you revisit, and the cats like are like bobbing their heads back and forth and stuff, and it is
Meow,
the
meow.
cutest, most
Mhm.
adorable thing ever in a game. I
Very
swear,
wholesome.
man. Yeah, the game is just, there's so much charm, overwhelming amounts of
So
charm.
much.
A lot
Definitely.
of character.
Yeah, yeah. So I will say, okay, yeah, we haven't even gotten into this yet. Yeah, geez, the grasslands.
Back in
Like going
yeah.
back into like actually hitting our first region, going out in that open world, spending time in it, seeing what these side quests are, seeing what these are, and seeing like, oh, we have these towers like other open world games, except it's region based, which was interesting. But when I first got out to that first region, it was like, when I looked at that map, I'm like, whoa. I was like, this is
What
big.
are we in for?
Yeah, and that was just one region, and I was like, whoa, like what is this about to be right now?
Yeah.
Beautiful. The music. Oh,
The music
Yeah.
too, bro. It just brings more life to it. And it's just that when you first started going to like an open world, of course we all thought that in the beginning, okay, we could like move around and stuff, but are we gonna just walk or run the whole time without like any like transportation or something at first? So that's when
Mhm.
I was kind of like, maybe okay, I just probably had to go a little further, and then eventually we will get something to go move a lot faster, which is
The
of course
chocobos.
the chocobos.
the
Yeah.
chocobo.
So I was happy about that point. I'm like, okay, now I could move a lot more faster and then
Yeah.
really enjoy what's out there.
Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
notice when you're like by the Chocobo farm, like in a specific area near there, I think you can see Midgar like directly from the grasslands. You can see Midgar.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
super cool. Like some of the locations, some of the regions, you can see other areas. Like if you look in the distance, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is super cool. Um, but
Love that.
uh, the first initial reactions to like side questing, like just not the main side quests, but like the intels and stuff. I I loved them. I don't know. Did any of you think those things kind of were like they got repetitive later in the game? The like intels and things.
It's just that I mean, in the beginning, it wasn't like that, but then when we go to like different regions, it's like okay, it's probably like the same old, same old. So it's like okay, it's getting a little tiresome.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, we
Yeah.
keep doing the same thing, and most of the time, the more region we go to, it'll take a little minute to finish
Yeah.
the intels because it's more bigger, so it's gonna take a
Mhm.
little while to finish instead of like with the grassland. Okay, that's like it's not that big to where okay, it won't take that long, but
Mhm.
it got a little repetitive, and
Oh yeah.
it's just in my opinion is though is that every time we do an intel, it just gets so. I know y'all can agree. It just get very annoying sometimes where Charlie will just call you mid screen and
Oh
just
yeah.
talk to you. And
Oh,
it's like, okay,
don't
and
even
Yeah.
get me
Yeah.
started on Mia.
I'm like, come on, bro.
Oh
I
my
don't. You don't have
gosh.
to call me every time just to explain just that point. I'm like, okay, can we just go any further and
Mm.
stuff?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Chadley was a
Agreed.
victim of Chadley was a victim of a lot of hate from my chat.
Oh, I
I
think
hate.
everybody doesn't
Agree.
like
I can
Chadley.
definitely imagine.
Everyone.
People hate
Um,
him.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. And then they had to bring in like his twin sister or whatever, Mia. Like, what is this?
Yes.
for no reason, no
Fucking
reason at
pain.
all. But like, I kind
Yeah.
of like I liked her more for whatever reason. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's just
I cannot
because
like a
it
lot
was a
more.
different voice.
Probably because we got
Maybe
sick of
it's-
Chadley.
Yeah,
Oh, no, no,
but
She
no,
didn't have the challenges.
Now a question: is that actually her twin? That's his twin, or that's just him dressed as a girl? That's what I was kind of thinking.
I
I
mean,
don't.
I don't know if they're
I don't know.
twins or if it's just like
They're both
I think they're
robots,
both.
so
They're both
Yeah.
AI. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
I don't know.
the one of the I will say there was one point with Chadley that was kind of cool, which was the when you go to the slums, I believe it was the slums, and he's in that costume, like, hey, I'm in disguise
Yeah.
because it's dangerous here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah.
Buster.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
Dude.
good.
To answer your question though, D-Man, I think that maybe for me, I couldn't tell if it was the intels getting repetitive or if I was just so like I said earlier I wanted to just get through the game because I was so
Mhm.
invested in the story
Yeah.
and I had already had all the summons that I figured I was going to use till end
Yep.
game. Like I got Bahamut Arisen already. I had already had Alexander. I already got Odin. I was like, I'm probably just going to use those three on my main three characters till the end of the game anyways.
Mhm.
So I didn't really put as much time once I got to the slums, or maybe it was a little bit after the slums. I didn't put as much time on the intel stuff. Not for any specific reason. I think I just like I did go out and run around and explore and look at everything.
Yeah.
Which I did want to point this out when you got to the grasslands is what I loved about this game that only like Xenoblade had made me feel before was like the scale of everything.
Yeah.
Like when you left Calm and you went into the grasslands and you turned around, like the size of the mountain, you
Yeah.
could really feel like how
Yeah.
big
Even
everything
looking
was
at
around you.
even when you're a little further away from Calm and you look at Calm and you see the ships in the sky from
The
Soul,
raid ships.
the Shinra ships, like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
It just looks so massive, and it's
Yeah.
like so many. Like the only other games that do like Halo did a good job of the scaling in
Mhm.
their games and stuff. Like Uncharted does a good job, but like so many games miss like making it feel real. Like it feels like
Yeah.
artificial scale on a lot of games. This game it felt like holy crap, that is massive behind
Massive.
It
me.
did. Yeah, like when you're in chapter 4 when you're at Shinra headquarters in where is it? Or not headquarters. Is it the HQ?
Junon?
Yeah, when you're on Junon.
Yeah,
Junon?
Yeah. And you see the what's the ship called? James?
the
Highwind?
Highwind.
The high wind.
Yeah, the Highwind. When you see the Highwind, it's like, oh wow, that thing is massive. Can you
That
imagine?
entire region.
Yeah, can you imagine being on the Highwind in part 3? What that's gonna look like? Like how big it's gonna be?
Oh.
How
Yeah,
big it's gonna
be
be?
insane. That
Yeah.
entire region of Junon, like everything was you'd go up to it and it would feel like you're like I don't even know. I don't even know how to explain it. It felt like you were an ant next to it.
Yeah.
Like there was like these buildings right near the water. I was standing next to it with a cloud. I'm like, there's no way this is that big, dude. It's
It's a
crazy.
sunken boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for real. So, I don't know. I wouldn't say there's a weak chapter at all, but weakest chapter, maybe chapter 3 because it's linear and kind of short. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
What
Yeah,
happens
I
at the end
yeah,
of that one?
I
Now that I think
agree.
about it,
That
Is
was the
when
one.
you meet Yuffie, right? For the
No,
first time?
no, that's in chapter 4. Chapter
The
3
mines.
is heading
Please
to
wait for the mine.
Yeah, when you're heading to
Mithril
Junon.
mine.
Oh,
we
yep.
went to Junon and we met Rude and
Rude and no, not Reno.
Elena.
Reno's later. Elena.
Elena.
Yeah.
Rude and Elena. We met those two.
Yeah.
in the-
Yep.
But she
in the-
said Reno's on a little bit of R&R. Relaxation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good chapter, but I would say that out of the entire game, because the game kept getting bigger and better and better and better, I would say chapter 3 is probably the weakest because it is fairly short, linear, quick. It's just basically traveling from the grasslands to Junon, and I have no issues
And
with
they
it.
just
But
gave, and just gave a little tutorial to where like you can just kind of like go through different regions by going through this area, like until
Oh,
they
Yeah.
start
Which-
adding like fast travel and stuff.
which do any
Good
of you
point.
think that there should have been more linear locations in the game outside of the big regions?
No. No, I don't think. Because I feel like the more linear that the areas are, there wasn't as much exploration or there wasn't much
Yeah.
more to go. Or it was a lot of, oh, let's
Mhm.
talk and walk slower, you know what I mean? Or let's...
Yeah.
Granted, the
Yeah.
linear, you can see things more and like have it more structured, but
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like the open areas more.
I
Yeah.
agree with James. I agree with him on that.
I don't disagree. I would like to add to that though. There were parts of the game where I felt really overwhelmed by how big it was to explore. So I
Yeah.
think like I don't think it needed any linear parts, but I think
Yeah.
I think some of the areas could have been smaller, but I mean, I also don't know because I didn't go
Yeah.
through every piece of every area because I was trying to get through it. So
I will say, chapter 12, they overwhelmed you with way too much content. Not that I can't complain
Yes,
about too much
uh.
content. Like, dude, it's optional. You know, it's there for you to if you want to do it. Like, I don't know why people complain over content. That's good quality content at that. But when you get to chapter 12, like, they gave you so much stuff. Like, they gave you more mini game stuff. They gave you more side quest stuff. They gave you a pirate quest line to go hunt some treasure. They gave you
More
another
Queen's Blood
more Queen's
challenges.
Blood. They gave you
Oi.
more. They gave you a quest line with that samurai guy. Like, more of that. And it's like,
Mhm.
dude,
Alright, yeah,
like,
you can
chapter
manage.
12. If you want to
Pirate
do
treasure.
everything in chapter 12, that's gonna take you like 30 hours plus or something. that was the longest chapter by far. Insane the
it
amount of
was-
stuff in that chapter. Overwhelming.
yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing, but
Agreed.
it's just like, jeez.
It was just because it's also like near endgame. So like you're on
Yeah.
chapter 12 and it's like, oh my gosh, and it's like all the stuff to do and you're like, I want to do it, but I also
But
want
I
to play the
wanna.
rest of the game,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I can't let this stuff go, you know? So it's
Mhm.
like I think they kind of did it on purpose because they know like the gamers in us are like, I have to go do it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had,
Now,
I think Final Fantasy 16 did that too, and it's like I don't want to do these side quests anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
before-
like it gets to us where like we want to do it.
Yeah.
God,
So
I loved that game. That's a different conversation for a different day though.
Yeah, we'll talk more of it down the line on that one.
Oh yeah.
So, backtracking to Junon, I did not expect the dolphin sequence to have introduced Yuffie because in the original, with the whole dolphin sequence, Yuffie doesn't exist. It is you're saving that the girl, I forget her name, but you're saving her basically. And you only there's not a dolphin like mini game thing, but like you use the dolphin to hop up top, kind of like you did in Rebirth. But you save her. You fight that boss. You save the girl. You don't save Yuffie in the original game. And I think that the way they introduced Yuffie to the party was so well executed. They couldn't have really done it.
Incredible.
They couldn't have done it any better. They really couldn't have done it any better. And they explained why she was there and everything.
It was such like a Yuffie introduction too.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was just like, as a
Mhm.
massive Yuffie fan myself, I just was like, this is exactly how I wanted this to go for me.
Yeah.
That's
You
like,
creep.
that's I mean, whoa, whoa. She's great though. I mean, come on, you played the game.
She
She's
is
like
great.
a fantastic character. She like the way that she kind of just like annoys Barrett. Like I love that she's just like the younger sister to all the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely see that.
Now,
Even extends
did,
to in the inn a little bit later.
did everyone
with
here?
them.
Did everyone here play Frog Guys? The side quest with the
Oh my
frogs,
gosh.
Oh
Dude.
yes, I did. I
dude.
did it.
That was amazing.
Took
It
way
was-
longer
It was.
than it
It
should
was
have.
just. It was just like
Oh.
I just thought it was just so goofy, but in a fun, charming way. Like especially when Tifa pushes him back into the turning into a frog. It was just. It was great.
No, I just
Right, man.
oh no, I just like that
Mm-mm.
mini game to where like we had to keep jumping without getting hit. You
Yeah,
know what
and
I'm
there's
saying? That's
another.
tickly.
There's actually, if you go back, there's another mini game
Uh-oh.
as well.
Chapter 12. It
Yeah,
opens
there's
it up.
yeah. If you go
Oh,
back,
yeah, I
there's
did that.
another one. Yeah, and it's exactly from Fall Guys too. The other one, like I don't know
Well,
if
I
the
was
first
about
one
to
is, but
mention
the
Fall
second one.
Guys. It gave
It's
me that Fall
exactly
Guys
like
vibe.
yeah.
It gave me that Fall Guys vibe.
There you go.
What about you, Kay?
Yep.
It was a lot of fun. I didn't play it a ton. I mean, I did play it enough to get
Yeah.
some shorts and stuff, but I played it like a lot when it first opened up, but I didn't go back to it. I was so addicted to just like getting myself yeeted. I don't know why. Just like the
It was
animation
funny.
of you getting yeeted as a frog sent me, and I
It was
just loved
fantastic.
it so much.
Literally.
It was funny. It
It
was funny.
literally sent me.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, I thought it was also so funny. It's like those kids willingly go in there and turn themselves into frogs. Like that's such like a
Yeah.
kid or teenager thing to do.
Do you
No,
guys
and
think
I'll
it
be
was
Hang
like?
out.
I'll be
Sorry,
honest
Judy.
though. No, y'all good. I'll be honest though. When we first got around that area and we was like exploring around and we saw those falls, I know we were all questioning like, wait, who are these falls and stuff? Like we
Mhm.
didn't know who they were at first until we actually done the side quest and that they were actually the kids. I didn't. Then when I first got around the area, I didn't even know who they were. Like what was the falls? I thought they was like, oh, they're like the enemies or something and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of thought. And then when we did the side quest, they were just the kids. I was
Mhm.
like, oh.
Yeah.
To me, it was
Just a
like
kid.
the wildest drug trip ever. Like you turn
Yeah.
into a frog. Like
Yeah.
that's what it kind of
Oh
was.
my god.
Yeah.
Like that's what it kind of felt like.
Yeah.
You like they willingly like would go back in and turn themselves into frogs.
Oh,
I'm like, whoa.
Oh, now
I
that
see what
now
you
you
mean,
mention
yeah.
it like that, now I can't
Went
do
right
that.
over my head.
Yeah.
Good catch.
But right, and now I'm kind of thinking that might be the case now.
Before
I
we
don't-
move on to Upper Junon, can I ask, did you guys do the proto relic stuff of Fort Condor?
Yes,
Yep.
I did that.
Oh,
I did one proto relic and I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the Grasslands one.
Oh, that's with those bandits.
Yeah, I didn't do any
The
of the other
bandits
proto
were
relics,
so
which I do
cool.
regret.
Dude, the music to the bandits the first time you interact with them, oh my gosh, it was so good.
Dude, I feel like so many times I'm sitting there like I was doing a quest and I had to stop and like had to listen
music.
to this. Like you can't
Yeah.
just, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the that mini game that James is talking about, or side quests, whatever, I guess, technically, though I think they kind of improved it on the Yuffie DLC. I don't remember as much from the Yuffie DLC. It's vague, but like when it first started up, Fort Condor, I'm like, what is going on? They're in the game? What?
in the game, yeah.
That was wild. They actually added full-on cutscenes like that and a story to Fort Condor. It was like, what? I couldn't believe it.
The PS1 models in there, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Well, for real, like we just look at them and they just in their PS1 models. I'm like,
So
Gotcha.
cool. So cool, dude. Like
And it was
and playing it on hard mode too is like the challenge of which specific set team that you want to use for it. It's such a basic game compared to Queen's Blood. You know, since you got your attackers, your defenders, and your range attacks, and then summoners. It's so basic, but in like a easy, fun way.
a good way, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They
I mean, I
even
loved
took
it.
what they learned from the Yuffie DLC, because in that, you could just send those dogs straight forward, and they would ignore all the troops
Mhm.
and go after the bosses. But now you don't get access to them, but the
Yep.
the enemies do.
The
So you have
enemies
to be able to fight them.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, so
shoot.
Upper Junon? You talking about
Yep.
Upper Junon?
Yep.
Yeah, man, I couldn't believe the scaling, man. Like the scale, I was just constantly in this game, man. The scale is just like you get blown away every single chapter, and when you see the Upper Junon, it's like once you get up there and you see the ship in the air and everything, it's just like, oh my gosh. And the like inspiration from Star Wars here was so heavy. It was so
For
heavy,
sure.
man.
For
Like,
sure.
and the part where Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith have to get dressed into their soldier outfits was just like, it was so good. It was so
Man,
good,
I-
man.
I took a lot
I
of
just-
screenshots.
Well,
Creep. No, I'm just kidding.
no, it's just that with that alone, what's my favorite thing about it was when we actually participate, when we had to go gather our troops and stuff, and then we played like a
Mhm.
little formation, and then
Oh my
we
gosh,
started
yeah.
doing the parade. That's probably like my favorite of the mini games. Like I
So
actually
much fun.
enjoyed it. It was definitely
Dude,
fun.
the part where you go into the bar, like the
bald
the
bar.
bald bar.
Oh my god, Elena,
So
Elena
good.
was up in there. I saw that. I'm like, she's so desperate and stuff, and I'm like, oh.
So
You
I mean, I
mean-
kind of felt bad.
Oh
for
no,
her.
not that bar. The area
Oh.
where Rude was.
Rude was.
Where Rude
Oh,
was.
the ball.
Yeah, the
guy.
ball. Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
Completely
was-
forgot about that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
that part was good. It was so funny.
I also
man.
loved how like Cloud, Aerith, and Tifa were like trading for the drill, and they just all knew it already.
Yeah.
Like they just all just knew
Yeah.
it perfectly. It was so
Yeah.
great. I'm like, I don't even need you to explain this. I love that they know it perfectly already.
Suspension
But
of
tell me this,
disbelief.
y'all. Tell me this, y'all. When y'all did the mini game for the parade, did y'all did it all in hard difficulty?
I didn't at
The best of the
first.
best?
I had to revisit
I
it because
did.
I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't do it properly.
I didn't know that I was supposed to find more than just the minimum. I didn't know there was.
Yeah,
a
I
didn't
minimum amount of
either.
people.
That's what threw
Oh.
me
E-Man did
off.
too, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
messed
guess
up, so I had to
guess
go
I'm the
back.
only one.
I had to
I
go
guess I was
back.
the only one.
I still have to go back because I did it until like it let me do the thing. I was like, I thought there was only like 5 people to find. So
Yeah, I
did
was
the first
confused.
5.
Yeah,
Nah, it's
Some
that
of
mad.
those-
confused me too.
Some of those interactions finding the troops were so funny. They were like taking a picture with the Rufus cutout.
Mhm.
They were getting interviewed upstairs, and then they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, Cloud, what do you have to say?" He's like, I'm not good on camera." Some of those interactions were gold.
They're like the
Yeah.
ones like. Sorry, you go first.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like, especially when the troops all leave out, they be in the position like this, and then just I'm like, bro, I was just laughing. It's like there's no extra on this. It's like, oh my god.
It's so good.
Mhm.
I liked how like every time they were like grouped up and Cloud would go talk to him, they'd be like, "Can you stop interrupting us?" And then another one of their friends would be like, "That's the boss.
Hey,
that's
that's
the
the guy."
commander."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, sorry." It's so great.
That's
Uh,
good. Oh yeah, GG, what was it you said about not Rude, about Elena? She was in
Yeah,
that
when we go-
bar.
Yeah, she was in that bar upstairs, and it's just that you just look
Yeah.
at her, and it's like she was feeling very desperate and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
like she's just having a little bad day and stuff. It's like
Wasn't she
in a way-
drunk? Wasn't she?
Like she was drunk.
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
drunk and
yeah.
stuff.
Very Elena
Such-
move.
Such good.
I mean, you guys have to at least agree, or at least so that you kind of felt bad for her. On at least,
Yeah.
when
Mhm.
you
She's
kinda
a new
at least
Turk.
felt bad for her.
Yeah.
Dude, I
She's a
felt
new
bad for
Turk.
Elena.
Yeah,
I
she's
felt bad for
trying.
Elena throughout the whole game. To be honest with you, I liked Elena a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, Elena, yes, but we can all agree when we go against a boss fight with her, we just take her down first because she was.
Yeah,
always
I
a
always
threat
did.
as it
Yeah.
is. She was a threat.
100%.
We
Yeah.
all had to beat her first before we get with
100%.
anyone else.
Did you guys hear her shriek? She's like, "Ah!" When you do like massive damage to her.
Mhm, I'm hearing that, bro. I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah.
So you recruit all the troops.
The army, the
the
big army.
Yeah, I recruit the whole
Yeah.
army, and
Army.
I just played
Yeah.
the whole sequence.
Yeah,
with Hall
the mini
Sequence.
game was so fun because like in the original, it's kind of it's a little bit it's weird because like you have it's just 4 buttons, but like you have to just click them in a specific order of like how the gun is gonna twirl or whatever.
Yeah.
And they made it kind of similar in some ways, but in like a completely brand new aspect that was like so cool. Just fun. Just a fun
And
little thing.
I also like how even with the sequence itself, it's just that you had to kind of make sure you did it perfectly at least because if you don't, I mean, because I know if we don't, we'll kind of miss an achievement if we would
A
have done
trophy.
a
Yeah.
trophy.
Yeah.
We'll lost that if we didn't done like a perfect performance.
Mhm.
Instead, if we keep making a lot of mistakes,
Yep.
which I'm happy enough that I actually got the trophy and I was playing on the hardest one. So I
Yeah, I
was
goofed
like,
hmm
up.
I
Yeah.
felt so proud of that and
Get
stuff.
praised by Heidegger.
Speaking
And
of,
but another, oh,
go ahead. Go
oh
ahead,
no
Gigi.
no it's gonna be a little further in after the
Okay.
way I was gonna
Okay.
say something,
All
but
right.
I'll let you say
Because
what you guys
I
say.
was gonna say in the original Heidegger and Rufus, they actually just end up leaving on a chopper, I believe, after the parade. Um, so like you see them leave to go to Costa del Sol, I believe. Um, whereas in this one with the parade, well, Yuffie's involved. So
hmm
she almost
Oh.
assassinated
hmm
Rufus, which was crazy.
I was gonna
I
say
really thought it was gonna happen.
not to mention the
I
stuff
I
with
was on the
Roche.
edge of my seat.
Roche being there, all that craziness with
no,
his
I'll
Oh
be
bike.
my
honest.
Yeah.
gosh,
I'll be honest
Roche.
though. I'll be honest. When Yuffie was trying to assassinate Rufus, I was like, in my mind, at first, I'm like, "Why Yuffie? Why Yuffie?" It's like
Yeah.
it looked like Rufus about to be on that side, and I'm like, "Okay, I want to see
Yeah.
how it go if Rufus was on that side." Like, oh, we may have a sequence where he may help
I
us in
think
a
it's
fight and stuff.
because she blames Soldier because her friend died. You know.
That's
Yep.
So
basically
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she wants to kill
So
the leader of Soldier.
yeah, I was like, I can understand her actions
Shinra.
when I got further in, but just at that moment, I'm like, why now?
Yeah,
Can you kind of just wait
yeah,
before you even try to do that? So, like, she kind of did it at the baddest timing there, but and I'm
yeah.
like,
The whole parade
ah,
was just so sick. Like seeing Roche on his motorcycle, seeing Rufus in that fancy schmancy car, and then the gunfire, seeing the gunfire for the first time, which is super cool. I can't wait to see more of that in the
Oh, the
third
cannon.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cannon
yep.
firing, which was pretty freaking sweet. Like in the third game, we'll probably end up seeing like a closer shot of that shooting something.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool because he was like, fire the cannon, and then I think it was Heidegger was like, they'll see that as an act of war, and he was like, I don't care, do it
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Whew, you're not messing around.
yeah.
That's
Right?
so cool.
So so then they went to the on the boat, which holy crap, that thing was huge. I
Shinraid, I
Definitely
think, or
huge.
something.
yeah, whatever it was
Wait,
called. What, Gigi? You got something?
no, I had something because it's just that I know one thing is that when we get into the ship and stuff, and we kind of like walk around and stuff. I know that the first door on the left of us, then you hear, the clones, of course, groaning and stuff,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then we hear somebody talking. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I think that's Yuffie. But
Yuffie
I'm
was
thinking
in
about
one
it,
of the
that has to be
doors.
Yuffie.
I think Yuffie was
Yes,
in one of the doors.
I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that was Yuffie in
yeah,
the door with the clones. I feel like
yeah,
that was her. I was like, I was thinking to myself, that's her.
yeah.
And then, of course, later on, it was
Sure
actually her.
enough.
I'm like, I wasn't surprised.
We talked a bit about chapter 5, but what we didn't talk about is the ending of chapter 5, which was insane.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Against what was it, a version
Genova.
of Genova. Yeah, that
Oh,
whole
my
part
My
was
gosh.
so sick, man.
Um, her theme again. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, it was wild.
Whew.
As a trip at the end there. I was like,
Yeah.
because in the original, from what I remember, I think Sephiroth just there was there a Genova fight at the end? I think there was something. Sephiroth like disappears. I think there was a fight at the end of that section because like people are like dead on the boat or whatever in the original. So it's a similar aspect, but oh my gosh, so much better in every way. It's wild. Um, so
Mm.
we already kind of talked about the basic concept of the boat. Other than that, was Queen's Blood. So I mean,
It's Queen's Blood. Yeah.
It's
yeah,
really just
that was
more
really it.
introduction, more to Green Blood.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
Yeah.
who
yeah.
who did everybody choose? I think in round 3 there was Tifa, Aerith, or someone else. I chose Tifa.
The other
I did
person might have been
Tifa.
Barrett. I went Tifa.
Barrett, yeah.
I
did
chose
Tifa.
Aerith because I love Aerith so much.
Wait,
I think
wait,
Aerith's
wait.
probably my
I can't
favorite.
remember. Did I did Tifa? Yeah.
She's
I
like, I'm
picked,
gonna kick your butt, Cloud.
I
I
picked
think
Aerith for like everything.
I think I did. I think I did Tifa. I think so. I was thinking to myself, like, if I did Tifa, okay, my relationship might change. I may boost up the relationship if I just talk
Yeah.
about her. That's
Yeah.
why I just went along with that.
Yeah,
That's why I did it for Aerith.
Ah,
yeah.
yep.
What's another one?
Can I
I think
just
another one
there you
was
go.
Madam M.
Madam
and then
M
the other
and
guy.
the
Oh,
guy
Madam
from the
M.
Honeybee Inn. Yeah. Yeah, I
Typical
did Madam
Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did Madam
And
M on
Yeah.
that one.
I
Same.
think I did.
The guy
Oh
did
my God,
too.
what's his name? Andrea.
Oh, yeah, Andrea,
Yep.
that's his name. Yep.
That's
Yeah,
his
I
name.
think I did him. I think I
Yep.
picked him.
Yep. Didn't he say something to Cloud before in the game? About dancing again or something? And Cloud's like,
I believe
pass.
so. I don't
Yeah.
remember
Yeah, he said.
exactly what the line was.
Yeah, he said about the dance scene, and I know Madam was talking about if you want more of her massage and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
jeez.
getting what?
I was surprised to see them return. I thought for sure they'd stay in Midgar, but
I
Right.
I'm
actually
glad
shocked that
they're
we actually
Right.
saw them
expanding the
more.
world.
Yeah.
Dude,
I know.
every new place you went, Madam M was there. I
Mhm.
feel like
Oh yeah, and they
Mhm.
left what's her name? Didn't make it on the boat. What was that girl's
oh,
name?
Kyrie.
Yeah,
Kyrie,
yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
make it onto the boat. It was
Okay,
funny.
guys.
Matt, when I was watching Max play that part, he's like, "Good, leave her, leave her."
For real.
Aw.
For real.
No,
She has a
I feel
banger
like
theme though.
she do got a banger thing, but I feel like she gonna be well. With I think she was in the original, right? Was she?
No,
Or
no,
no?
she's
Okay.
No,
new.
she's one of the new ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, at least I know with the new character, since she's a new character, I'm like her story, or at least more of her, will probably expand. We'll see more of her in part 3. I feel like we'll see a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
more of her
Yeah.
and stuff.
yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So
And I also
Mhm.
and I also feel like she's also probably one of my favorite characters. Is I mean, if you guys recognize the voice actor who voiced her, I'm like, I feel like she's gonna be one of my favorites. And
Hmm.
stuff.
Do you know who
Uh,
voices her? I actually don't know who it is.
I
I don't know.
forgot the voice actor name, but I know she
But she
voiced
was.
characters like On Takamaki in Persona 5. Like that's one of her most well-known
Oh.
role. Um,
Oh, I
Oh
should
yeah,
know
yeah.
her name.
no, I'm
I
saying
should
I don't.
know.
No, I'm saying I don't know the voice actor name, but I just know her by her
I have to
voice.
look it up.
I,
Hmm.
I could look it up later and I could say who it is. I just forgot her name.
So Costa
Yeah,
del Sol,
wow,
Costa
man.
del Sol was incredible.
Yes,
I
it
I
was.
Oh,
can't
yeah.
I cannot
Definitely.
believe like I seen it in the trailer like I might have avoided that trailer. I'm not 100% sure if I watched that whole trailer, but I seen like a little bit of it from when they were on Costa del Sol, obviously cuz Tifa, you know. But but like dude, like Costa del Sol is so how do I say it? Like
A vibe.
it was just so small in the original,
tropical
and it's
vibe.
just like, man, oh man, like 25 or 27 years later, it's like, geez, dude, like it's amazing how far video games have
Beautiful.
come, and
Mm-hmm.
like, um, the mini games there, like the soccer with Red 13, like Rocket
Oh
League with
yeah.
Yup.
basically
Wild
Rocket
and
League.
Out or something.
It was so
I
fun.
think Costa del Sol has my favorite mini games to date. I think I was addicted to the Rocket League Red 13 mode.
Yeah,
It was
that's
so
one of my
fun.
fun to play.
It was fun.
Yep.
Yeah,
Was
I
that the
agree.
one with the where you had to shoot the things with
Yep.
like the
Yep.
BB gun?
The little
Yeah,
BB
that
gun
was
thing, too.
So good.
That was kind of cool. Yeah.
Did you guys like the finding the cactuar pictures?
Oh
That
my
was so-
gosh!
I
I
hate
remember.
it.
That
No,
was
listen.
hate it.
I was
Yeah.
Give me a little
so
minute.
I was watching Kay's stream when he was at Costa del Sol, and the one that was on the fire hydrant, he just kept walking by it over and over, and I'm just thinking to myself,
Oh.
"It's right there, Kay. It's right there."
It sucked ass. I was like, where? I found all the hard ones first, and the easy one is the one that I couldn't find. The one that was like,
Oh,
Oh, dude. No, it was awesome for me. I was able to find the easy one. It was just the hard one that took me a little minute, especially the last one close to like the entrance to to
I
close
think
to the
that
took me
like
a little minute.
I think
Like,
the
like
like
the lady who was saying that you getting closer. I got
yeah.
confused with what she meant from that.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
is she
Oh
talking to
yeah,
me or
are you
she just
talking about
talking in general?
the one that was like by the entrance to the beach? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yep. I
We're
was
getting
confused by that
closer.
too, cause kept looking at that map, and the map was kind of weird the way they had that set up with the X's. I don't know. It was kind of like it could have made it a little bit easier, but like yeah, no. I kept looking and looking and looking. It was like, what am I looking for? Like I thought I was looking for a green cactuar. You know, I didn't think I was looking for like a pink one or something. You know,
Yeah,
something
I
special.
Yeah, I
didn't know they
thought
were
we
the.
were doing one.
I found the one. There was one that was on like a rock structure. It was like kind
Yeah,
of like
that one.
a wall. That one.
Yeah.
I found that one first, and I saw it, and I went, that can't be what I'm looking for, because cactuars are green.
Right.
So it's like that
Green.
can't be like the one that I'm looking for. And then I took a picture of it. I was like, oh, so they're purple that I'm looking for. And I was like, okay, this should be easy, because there's how many purple cactuars are there?
Yeah.
Apparently not many, and it was still difficult for me at least. I'm
Mhm.
They
looking at
could
some,
have
I'm
at
like,
least told us the color of them or something. Give us more of a hint than just
yeah,
cactuar.
that,
And we had the introduction of the Shinra manager in this quest.
Ah, yes.
oh
Oh,
yeah,
guy.
my
yeah.
homie.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
That dude, he did not help at all. Even he was like, I need to find the cactuars. And you're like, okay, help me look for him. And you found all of them without his help.
I feel like the
Yep.
only reason he's useful, or at least try to be useful, is basically like if you see him at a spot, then okay, the cat toy should be around that area where he's at. That's probably
Mhm.
the only thing we
Yeah.
could probably get out of him, and that we probably didn't pay attention, know why he's over there, or
Dude.
until we like, okay, the more we did it, I'm like, okay, we got to at least see where he's at, and then just look around the area he was at.
He's just de-stressing, man. He's on vacation.
Oh, yep.
That's true.
Oh,
It's crazy how we saw him again, even though he was there in Remake, and then now he's here in in Rebirth. So it's like even
Right.
small characters like him, even making more than one appearance.
yeah.
It's not
I love
like
I
Yep.
love what I love about this chapter is the introduction of Johnny, bringing him back on Costa
Oh
del
my
School.
gosh.
It was like
Yes.
phenomenal. The fact that he has his
Oh.
own hotel, but it's like a piece of trash.
Run down.
Yeah. It's just it suits his character so perfectly. His personality, you wouldn't picture him to have like a fancy hotel or anything. Like they just executed that part so perfectly
It's perfect.
because they
yeah.
needed somewhere to stay. And then at one point with Aerith, the water shut off or whatever. Which, by the way, I remember Kay. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to say something so bad when he was playing that chapter and the voice when Aerith was sleeping, I
Oh,
think, and you were like, "What the heck was that voice? Was that Zach?" But it actually
my
was Red
God.
13.
yeah.
The whole time.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
Whoa.
I was like, I'm sitting there, I'm
Nanaki.
like, there's no way there's somebody in there with Aerith right now. There's
Oh,
no
the
way.
Same
Us.
thing. When I heard that voice, I'm like, who voice this is? And stuff. I'm like,
We all were
okay, we're
confused.
gonna find out who the voice is when we get further down. I'm like, okay, we're gonna find out who it is. And
D-Man could have given me 900 guesses, and I would not have ever said Red 13 sounded like that ever.
No, no.
bro, I'm
Yep.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Well,
When
I
we
don't
just
think-
know.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying how when we actually had found out that was actually Red's voice, and I'm like, okay, I was just so used to his like deep voice, where I want him to go back to
Mhm.
his deep voice and stuff.
I didn't
because I'm not used
expect,
to his
for
young
some
voice.
reason, I didn't expect that, like, because for his age, he is a child, but I didn't expect them to, because the whole first game, like, that he never had another voice, so it's like, why
Yeah.
would he, but then I guess it's because he was shy and didn't like to open up to people he didn't know very well, so I guess
That's why he did a deep voice on them.
I guess it made sense. It was just like, what the heck? Oh,
He's like
I-
a wise old man with his deeper voice. He's
That's
got
what
the
I'm saying.
knowledge.
yeah,
Yeah, he wanted respect from his peers.
He did not want to be treated as a dog.
yeah.
Correct.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
Or a lab rat dog, as he was
Mhm.
called.
All right. How we feel about after the mini games, and then we change F and Tifa into their swimsuit outfits.
The swimsuit
How
attire.
How y'all feel
It was
about
fanta-
that?
It was
and
it was
stuff?
fantastic, and the fact that you get to use
Good.
any outfits you want after you beat the game is great.
Mm-hmm.
You know that is
Yeah.
awesome. That you get
Mhm.
to just change everybody's outfits and you can keep them in whatever outfits you want, which is fantastic because I was hoping that would be the case with, and it makes sense for you to have to wait to do it till after you beat the game. I understand that, but I'm glad that they did this and took aspects from like the mobile games, saying like, hey, you can put them in different outfits because that's what we want. What I want in part 3, here's what I want. I want to be able to play in the Advent Children Cloud outfit.
Oh, what a take! That is such a good take.
I want it.
Oh yeah, that would
Absolutely.
be awesome.
I want it.
That's such a good take. Oh,
I
I'm
actually,
so on board with
That'll
you.
be
actually, I want all of their outfits from Advent Children.
I was just about to say,
All
I
of
want
them.
everybody.
Dude,
to do that
Yuffie's
outfit.
Advent Children
Oh.
outfit would go hard.
Yep. That's what Kingdom Hearts 2. That's how I know those outfits so
Mhm.
well.
That's
Yeah.
how I recognize outfits really
Yep.
from
That's-
that.
Which we'll
That's a
get
good
we'll get to
idea.
that later. We'll get to that later. But
But how adorable was Aerith's like twirl when she was in like the dress was like float. Dude,
It's
I
just
don't know,
so-
it's just
Yeah, for
like
sure. I like that one.
she's
Yeah.
just like she's just a breath of fresh air, just like so bubbly all the time. It was just
Yeah.
like Costa del Sol playing as Aerith. It just like it fits so well together. Like
Yeah.
being around Aerith there.
her personality is
Mhm.
just so, it's what you want in someone, you know? It's just like
Agreed.
someone that
Yeah.
makes you always like smile just because they're always so happy. You know?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
Hey, Brianna White is literally
Literally-
the perfect voice.
She is the
actor for her.
embodiment. She's the embodiment of the
incredible,
Aerith.
bro.
It's
Like,
amazing.
nobody can replace her. Nobody can replace her.
Yeah.
Oh, by
Like there
the way-
was, what's up?
Sorry, I was just saying, Gigi, the voice actress you were thinking of is Erica Harlicker, by the way.
Gotcha, I knew it. I knew
So-
it was her. I knew it was Erica something. I just forgot her last name.
So I
I'm
just
like,
didn't want to forget to tell him that. That's all. You can go, D-Man.
I was gonna say Brianna White. A few streams ago that she didn't have much caffeine, so she was like more like bubbly and acting all goofy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Aerith. You know? It was so great. Back to Costa del Sol. So the boss fight was insane.
We find Hojo on the beach. With
Yeah,
his
which
girls.
I find it hilarious that they
hanging.
actually kept Hojo in it. First of all, in the chapter, but secondly, like having him still in his white like outfit, like
Lab
without
coat.
him,
His
in
lab
his lab
coat.
coat. Yeah. It was so great still seeing him like in the lab coat, and I think there's something later where someone asks the ladies about Hojo or something, and it was just like they're just doing it for a paycheck, you know.
Yep,
They're
that's
getting
what
paid-
I'm doing it
They
for.
pay
I
by
just-
Shinra.
What like just seeing Hojo come in with 3 women on his arm is like
Yep.
it's like this schmuck. This schmuck has 3 women on his arm. He's like the creepiest
What?
person on earth. Like
Yeah. The worst.
Mhm.
it was so funny just to be like in his like stupid goofy laugh, and then to find out that they're literally just getting paid to do it. You're like, oh, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And then
And
you
they-
have
they-
a side quest with them later. Yeah.
Yeah,
you do.
Oh,
They did everything that like everything that the original had that people would think, oh, this is too goofy to pull off in a newer version of this game or something. They did it, but tenfold. Like
mhm.
Yep.
they did it so good to where none of it was cringe, none of it was weird, none of it was off in any way, and it was just all so perfectly executed and perfectly charming. And that boss, the fact that Cloud's like, oh shoot, I don't have my sword. Umbrella.
And then
Umbrella.
the whole Yuffie transforming Johnny's, it was like an anime moment. Like a Naruto
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
And then that being the reason that there's 9 million Johnnies after that is hilarious. to me.
Yeah.
Right?
And Yuffie's actual introduction to the team, for a minute there, people were thinking it was going to be optional. Max was like, is this really going to be optional? What's going on here? Because Yuffie asks a question and you have to answer. And it's like in the original,
Oh, yeah.
Yuffie's optional. She's only an optional character to unlock. So
Yeah.
you have to do things a specific way. The dialogue, I had to look it up. Because if you don't do it correctly, or if you touch her save point, she will run away. And you have to find her again. So it was
She'll
completely
steal
optional.
your items.
Yeah, that too. So in this, they tried throwing you off asking a question, but it didn't matter either way. But Kay, oh my gosh, when she introduces herself as the great ninja Yuffie, and Cloud's just like, cool.
Just walk
He just walked off. He just walked off.
Funny.
It is so perfect. Oh, it's just,
Mhm.
you guys can like see. There's a clip of it on my YouTube. I'm sure that D-Man has
Yep.
a clip of it on his YouTube also. It's perfection. It's just perfection.
That part was so funny.
I
Mhm.
couldn't even. I just couldn't believe. I was like, did you just say cool? Just walk
Cole
away.
walks away.
It's
Yep.
such a Cloud thing
And
to
her in
do,
like
man.
her little chocobo outfit. Aw, she's so
Oh
cute.
yeah.
Oh yeah, her other outfit.
Nah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but just know when Yuffie got into the party, like officially into the party, man, it just changed practically everything. Like I'm to the point
Yeah.
that I basically just love Yuffie's playstyle to where I've been playing with
Yeah.
Yeah,
her. I'm playing
good.
as her a
Good.
lot, and also
Dude,
Yeah.
the other party members. I've been playing as
that's
her a
what
lot.
that's what I mean.
Mhm.
She's like the best character in the game, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh, she is.
I
I basically,
Yeah.
yeah, like I basically have played. I kept playing my party throughout the whole game. I
Yeah.
just
She
kept
was
playing
one
the
of my
whole game.
mains. I think
Yep.
she was like
She
all of
definitely
ours.
one of my
Yeah.
mains.
dude,
She's
you
so
get
fun.
doppelganger in the
Yeah.
ninjutsu stuff. It's like
Whoa.
Game
unstoppable.
changed.
It's
amazing.
insane.
Well, why I use that a lot. The combination of the doppelganger and just keep using her win abilities. And I just like,
Yeah.
yep, I'm just
Plus, if you
overkill.
have like pray and revive on her and stuff, like just
Oh
as
my
like
gosh, yep.
extra, like you can
Oh.
really do some really good stuff with Yuffie. It's insane.
I actually heard about that for either is that you, Demon, or Chris, who had mentioned that I should equip that to Yuffie and stuff.
yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, because
definitely.
she's good with ATB.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which, speaking of, we didn't even talk about the synergy abilities. Oh my, dude,
Whoa, I have so
Really
much.
good.
I'm enjoying the synergy
they're
abilities so much.
such a good.
bro.
I abused the hell out of Spellblade, like with Aerith and Cloud. I used Spellblade so frequently.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Mhm.
good.
The only thing I will say, with the combat is, we'll get into that actually, but the synergy abilities are freaking such a cool thing that they added extra of, and there's like so many that like what I want to see with synergy abilities if they're back in part 3 is like make it to where there's ones with 3 party members at the same time, or even
Oh my
even
gosh,
bring in a
yes.
fourth, bring in a dang fourth just for a synergy ability, you know, go crazy with it, just go
They could
crazy
even
with
do
it.
it like they could even do like every party member too. Like if
Oh,
they, if
man.
they really
An
want to go
all-out
out of
attack.
they want to go out of this world, just all because they're always you can see them standing like off to the sides.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
occasional.
yeah.
They were occasional attack.
And that's
if
another thing is that they didn't do with part 2 that I hope that they do with part 3. I'm okay if they don't, but like Final Fantasy X, you could flip out characters anytime you want, and I think it would be kind of
Yeah.
cool if the characters are already there in the background. They're already doing damage on their own. If you would be able to just flip someone out of your party for someone else directly during combat, if you wanted to, I think that would be awesome if they
Yeah,
did
I'm
that.
with
TK
Yeah.
knows
I won't
about this.
I won't
in
complain.
Xenoblade 3,
Mhm.
all the party members are there at once, and you could just
Yep.
play with them on the
Yep.
fly.
Yeah.
The power of PS5, oh, they can do it.
Yeah,
They
that's
can.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I won't complain if they don't do it, but I think that they really have an opportunity here to do something awesome with the combat by letting you flip out anyone you want at any time during battle and having synergy abilities that can do more than just 2 characters at a time, do 3, do 4, do 5. Like there's so much cool stuff that they can do there with the combat
Especially
for
'cause
the
if-
third game.
If you think about it, D-Man, for the third game, like you're going to be getting 2 new characters too.
Yeah.
Based on, I
Mhm.
mean, if it's unless they change it, which I
They
don't
won't.
anticipate them doing, but
No.
you're going to get 2 new characters to play as. So
Yep.
then that adds more to the potential of synergy abilities that you
Yep.
can do with those 2 characters
Exactly.
as well.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
Yep.
Also, I think when I go back and play Remake again in a couple of years, like Remake and then Rebirth before part 3 comes around, it's going to be weird playing Remake again. And the big reason why, not only synergy abilities, but also there's no aerial combat.
Aerial combat.
Yeah. Which,
Oh, I didn't.
yeah.
Or
which-
blade
I
beams.
didn't remember that. You're totally
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I hadn't played. I wanted to replay Remake before Rebirth came out, and then Rebirth just snuck up on me. I didn't get
Yep.
a chance to. But you're totally right. I completely forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was no aerial combat, so it's just such a big improvement that like I'm hoping part 3 is like, oh, I love Rebirth and I'm gonna play it before it, but it's like you get a sequel to a game and it's so good and you're like, I don't want to go back to the last one, you know, but you obviously you will eventually, but it's like just the improvements are just like crazy
Mhm.
between going from one game to the next, and you see those improvements. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome what they did with at least the improvements they had with the combat. And I think that what the potential with part 3's combat, especially with 2 new characters, is there's so much potential. I really think that I don't think they're going to disappoint us. I really don't.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it'll be hard to disappoint us.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah.
Agreed.
solid 2 games in a row.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't.
So
I could even just see it. Like it's like Vincent tapping me in. Boom, boom, boom. He
Right.
shoots his guns,
right.
tosses someone else up like Sid or something, and he uses jump. Boom, lands on the enemy. Oh,
Oh my gosh,
I can
yeah.
see it right now.
Yeah, like synergy abilities that you could like do the ability and then it automatically flips out a character with another character. I think that'd be pretty sweet if you could do that.
That'd be so cool. That'd be like a jam. Did you ever play Torna when you played Xenoblade?
Yes,
So when
yes,
you
yes.
swapped out blades, they do an ability like an attack.
Oh
That
yeah,
thing
yeah.
that you
Hmm.
summon. Like you could do something like that, but in
Mhm.
reverse. Like you do an attack, and then the other person does one to jump in for like whatever
Ooh,
part Three's called. That would be so cool.
I like that.
Definitely. I think
Yeah.
they could definitely do that on PS5.
hmm
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
definitely.
PS5 Pro even by this
Yeah,
2027.
for real.
So okay, we were on Costa del Sol. So when you leave Costa del Sol, I think it's the same chapter or it's the next chapter, and then you get to explore the world of what's that region called?
Corel.
Coral
Coral?
region. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Coral,
and you get the new choke. I like how every region you get a different kind of chocobo that has different abilities. First off, I think that's
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Mhm.
That's
And
super
they're all different
super cool.
colors.
Yeah, that's
Great.
super
They all
super.
have names.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yes, we
I
are.
think my favorite of the chocobos, it might be the one that can like float over water. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that was a cool
Yeah.
ability.
I thought that one was pretty cool.
What was the
Um,
one that you
Nibelheim.
Was that Nibel? Oh, what's the
Yeah.
one? I think it's Gongaga, the one where
Yeah,
it bounces off
we
the like.
jump,
thing.
yep. That's
Oh,
probably my
bounces
favorite
off the
one.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was cool
That's
too.
probably one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
yeah. So we get out there. Again, you get some of the same stuff, but side quests always are super interesting. Side quests are amazing,
Oh.
but I will say the sit up minigame.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Oh my gosh. I was
I
losing my
can imagine
mind.
what you
I
gonna
was
say.
I was losing my mind. That third sit up contest is so frustrating. Just like the pull up contest in remake. Took me so long. I think I ended up muting my I think I muted my game and put on Spotify at some point, I think. Because it was just so stupid.
I don't even think I did that one much, to be honest with you. I don't remember it. I don't remember it like you remember it, so I'm gonna go with I definitely didn't play it much.
I just
It's
remember
awful.
Demon
It
was
was
talking
rough.
about it, but I didn't get that photo into it. But I just know
It's
Demon was
awful.
talking about it. I can just imagine how
Me
he was
too.
reacting
Yep.
to it.
Good luck.
It's
Against
like
Jules.
Yeah,
Contempt in
Jules
his
is
eyes
horrible.
for it.
I swear, if the third game
No
makes
Jules
me,
in part 3.
please take Jules away from the dang game. We don't need Jules in part 3. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna
will.
make it like we did sit ups, we did pull ups. They're gonna probably
What's
make
that?
Tifa do a push up contest or something. I
I'm
don't
about to
know.
say push up or do like a
Oh,
like
yeah.
a running, like running.
Yeah, I don't
Next one's
know.
gonna be all three of them together.
Like a
The button combinations are just weird because like with the sit up contest, the further you get in, like there's times when you hold the trigger just halfway, and then there's times when you have to mash it. So it's like depending on the color between red and or yellow and green, it can be confusing, and you have to perfect it. You have to perfect it, and you have to go really, really fast as you can once it gets going without failure. You have to get exactly 50 sit-ups in order to beat him, and it is so dumb.
Yep.
It is so dumb.
I think I made the right decision not diving into that one very deep.
Yeah.
yeah, same.
Yeah. So what's
This is the
what's
life of the completionist.
is it the Coral Mine? Right? The Coral Mine. Oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah, with Barrett
I will say
and
it,
Yuffie.
there were a couple points when I'm like, okay, there's an elevator here, there's an elevator there. I'm like, which way do I go? All right, we're gonna go over there, then we're gonna go back over there. So it was like, even though that was like a linear location, it was like there was multiple different spots to go, and then there was was it a grappling hook? Do we have a grappling
Yeah.
hook with UV? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that was pretty cool. But like the whole split up with the two teams, with Cloud and Aerith and Tifa, I think it was walking on the mines or on the
Oh, it was
yeah,
it was
dude,
Yeah, the mine
it was
tracks.
so
Right.
cool. Yeah, walking on the
Right.
tracks was so cool because if you in the original, it's kind of short. The way it's set up, and obviously small, but like the way they expanded upon the railroad tracks and how big they made it and how long they made it is just like wow. And the music during the battles and the fact that you can see the golden saucer from there, dude,
Impressive.
so cool that you
My
can see the golden
favorite,
saucer.
my favorite of the core mine was definitely when Barrett, Yuffie, and Tifa got into a car and they start and
Oh, the
Yep.
minecart. Yeah.
Yep.
the mine car. That's like my
Did you guys
favorite.
So
switch the
sick.
tracks
Was so
for
sick.
I
Barrett or
just,
for you?
I didn't
Uh,
switch the track. I think I just
Yeah,
kept as go and I just did the Barrett route.
I
Just did
sent
the-
I sent Yuffie and Barrett flying, and Yuffie got
yeah,
mad at Cloud.
yeah, yep,
I
yep,
was so
yep.
laughing when she I was
Yep.
laughing so hard.
It was so good. Yuffie and her sickness all the time. Yeah, she
Yeah.
never throws up once. I like how she never throws up once, but she's always like
Never.
about to.
I think she almost did in the buggy. Well, we'll talk about later, but
Yeah,
the buggy.
the mine cart
So,
was
yeah,
so
we'll
cool, dude. Those little things
the
where
mine.
the music's going and you're just going through these things. It's like this is amazing, dude. This is the coolest thing ever. That's what I love about some video games. It's like this is an experience that I don't know how they're gonna top this game. We'll get into that, but I just have no idea. But when we get past that and we get to Gold Saucer,
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
No sauce
coolest dude. The introduction.
First, we got to talk about Chocobo Cloud Jr. His GG
Cloud
level.
Oh yeah, the Cloud Jr.
Cloud
thing.
Junior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
loved it.
I think I made like a joke, or somebody in my chat made a joke about one of the chocobo. I think it was my chat. My chat made a joke about the chocobo looking like Cloud, and I went, yeah, it kind of does. And then the game made a joke about it, and I was like, holy crap, that's like really weird that like my chat was joking about something they had written into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Hey.
But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
So yeah, and then when we're up there, we see Elena. She's like, "So long."
Was this
I'm not
now?
gonna
Was
say it,
this?
but-
Wait, maybe this wasn't. No, this isn't that point yet. I don't think. I was gonna say
We're
there's
on Mount
there's.
Corel.
Yeah. Was that?
Mm.
No, I was gonna say where's the Kingdom Hearts Easter egg? The reference.
It's like next chapter, I think. Next
Okay.
chapter.
Well, there was a reference where she's eating sea salt ice cream.
Mhm.
Oh yes, I
Yeah.
saw that
Helicopter.
line. Yep, that's Kingdom Hearts, bro.
I wish I'd played Kingdom Hearts. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to, bro.
Those are good
Well,
games too.
You definitely need
I added it to my list
Mm.
right in the same realm as the DMC.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
another year or two. Don't worry, but until the next one.
Yeah. Till
Yeah,
four.
Yeah, I have time.
Yeah. But Gold Saucer, like when Dio comes out on the vehicle,
Mhm.
and like there's the people around. They made it such a spectacle when you first get there. And have this big party, all the dancing and like the dancing with the ladies, then the dancing with the guys and everything. It's like, what is going on? I was
Yuffie comes out in that
the
I
outfit.
get up.
Yeah.
Yep, and then Tifa and Air just join in and is participating. I'm like, oh, this is cute. I'm like,
It
oh,
was
they having a good
wild.
time.
It was
was great.
wild. Everything about the whole sequence was like, wow, this place is
Very
crazy
lively.
cool.
It is very lively.
Yeah, and then you get up there to fight Dio and this like the characters the 3D brawler characters start dancing. I'm like, what is this? What is this?
I thought it was gonna be the dance mini game.
I thought it was too. I thought it was about to be some kind of dancing thing. I didn't understand. I just gotta say, I did not understand 3D Brawler. I still don't understand 3D Brawler. I hate it. I hate 3D Brawler. I played everything except I finally unlocked Sephiroth. Listen, the guy before Sephiroth, I don't know how James did this, but like you have to look up the screenshots and you have to pause every time he's about to attack. Look at the screenshots, see which button to click, then go back, and you gotta do the same thing with Sephiroth. And Sephiroth, it takes so long before he like goes down to where you can actually punch him. It takes forever. And I did not have the patience. I do not have that kind of patience. Some of the 3D brawler fights you can figure out how they are going to attack. They have a pattern. Some of the 3D brawler fights have a pattern, and it's kind of, some of them are okay because it's like, okay, once you understand this pattern, it's kind of cool. But the later fights, the like side quest and secret fight, it's like, there's no patterns here at all. This is not fun. And the way that they attack, it's like, this is not fun. You can't tell whether it's you gotta hold the button right or left. Well, right, up, or down, or left, up, and down.
Yes.
And
I
it's
can't
so
remember that.
Uppercut.
annoying. Oh my gosh, 3D brawler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was
Ignorant.
not a fan of 3D Brawler either.
It's okay. It just. Yeah.
Eh,
It's a. Yeah.
yeah.
The
It's
music
my-
was good again.
Yeah.
I'm a music appreciator.
Yeah, least favorite of the mini games. You know.
I think I
So,
would
which
agree.
was your favorite mini game in Gold Saucer? Go around.
I actually like.
That's actually tough.
Wait. Actually, if I choose one, I like the spaceship one. Would be like
Yeah.
outer
Pretty
space.
good.
I
It
like
is
that's probably
pretty
my
good.
Speed
favorite.
Square.
I think that's
Star
probably my
Fox
favorite.
vibes.
Yeah, I would have
I
to
really
say
like
that
the
one as
G
well.
bike.
I think
that one was good too.
G-Bike's fun. Yeah.
Wait, which one?
The G-Bike.
Oh, G-Bike. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When I did the G-Bike, that would just remind me just about remake. It's like I
Mhm.
just remember how we did that.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I changed my answer. I think G-Bike was my favorite. I don't know how I forgot about it, but we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
You
gonna change
can
it
put a
to
pin in that.
G-Bike's pretty
yeah,
fire.
G-Bike definitely
G-Bike's
is.
pretty cool. It's not like
I
very
still don't
boring.
think it. I still don't think I like it as much as the Rocket League with Red 13 though.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one's really good. Yeah. There were so many mini games in this game. So many.
Mm-hmm.
And like chapter 12, once you get to that, they open up even more. Well, actually, you
Mm.
know what? But chocobo races are a mini game. That's a thing.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
those were pretty good.
Yeah, I felt like I was playing Mario Kart 9 before Mario Kart 9.
In the original, I didn't really touch the races, but I was like, in this one, I was
Yeah.
motivated.
Well, in
I
the
didn't-
original, the controls didn't really make any sense because it was like
Mhm.
you had to like just kind of guess how to win or mash a button or something weird. I don't know. It was very confusing. This was like, oh, you're playing Mario Kart right now. This is amazing. And it like the races kept getting harder and harder. My only complaint with the races were the harder ones, the frickin' cactus doors that just shut and open. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
You mess up once on one of those cactus doors and don't get your timing right, you are like screwed. And
Lost.
the harder races that yeah, ticked me off with the harder races, but like they were overall crazy fun. So I mean, I would probably say that those might actually be my favorite mini games is the chocobo races. They put
That's
a
a good
lot of
pick.
time into it. They put a lot of time into it. I
Yeah,
liked
that's a
it
good
lot.
pick.
Who did you guys get on your night out with?
Tifa.
I got Tifa.
Tifa.
We all. Did you get Aerith? Oh, you
I got
did.
Aerith, dude. I got Aerith for everything. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Aw.
Huh.
I wanted
Did you-
I wanted all the Tifas to go first before I answer.
Mhm.
Did you
Mhm.
see all of them? Like, did you YouTube them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
Tifa's
Good.
probably the best, but
Yeah, it's like probably the most canon one. Probably.
Yeah.
Realistically,
Yeah.
it's probably yeah. I would say.
I thought they were all done very well. I was very happy with the Aerith one. It didn't seem like it seemed like it could also have been like they wrote it towards her as well. So
Yeah.
I like that it wasn't
Mhm.
like definitely like no Aerith,
Yep.
just Tifa kind of a thing. So
Mhm.
it was they were all done pretty well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. The one with the boys. That one was so funny.
Oh man, so funny.
So funny, dude. It was like awkward at the same time. Kate Sith over there trying to have fun, and it's just like nobody wants to have fun. Vincent's over there. Vincent's over there taking a nap. So good, dude. The when you get to the hotel, the like haunted hotel, dude. That for some reason the music to that has gotten stuck in my head. I'd randomly be at work and just be like, I'd be like humming like like just I don't know why that mansion theme just like it gets in my brain randomly sometimes. It's just so cool.
I feel like the only song that really just been in my head a lot, and now I'm just thinking of it right now, is that Bow Bow Wow thing.
Yeah, we didn't talk about
glad
that.
you brought that up.
The side quests with the dogs is just amazing
Wow.
because it's like
The music is so good
Yeah.
in this game.
yeah do 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 just as you're going, and then bow wow
And
wow
dolphin
bow wow
minigame.
wow.
on Apple
Had good
Music and
music.
stuff, like Spotify, I'll just listen to the mess out of it.
Yeah.
throughout the
And
day.
then when you did the dog one, and then you get in combat, the music was even better. It was like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Right?
Yep.
amazing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys remember? I think it was Gongaga, so we can talk about this one more when we get to Gongaga's chapter. But the mini game where you have to like throw the can and the chicken has to follow it.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
gosh.
God. So
Yeah,
annoying.
That
okay,
was
good.
the
You all
worst.
you all have the same reaction as me.
That was
Good.
the worst.
It was the worst
no,
mini.
it's not-
That's the worst one in the game.
It's
Sucked.
it's too many games. It's one is the chicken, and then the other one is when we had to pick them Gongaga mushrooms.
Oh gosh, dude.
Especially that
Oh
last-
my.
especially that the final mushroom. That
Yeah.
took a little minute. because-
Yeah,
PTSD.
yeah. Even Max failed on that once. Somehow he got it the second time, so he didn't. But I didn't even save before that, so whatever. And I didn't go back and do it.
I made that save.
Yeah, you made
Y'all
sure,
told me
yeah.
to save.
Yeah.
Y'all told me. to
The
make sure I
stupid
saved,
freaking third
but-
mushroom. The third mushroom made no
Aye, aye, aye.
sense. It made no sense.
He only got one shot, and or
was
two
so
shots, I
dumb.
guess, and then it broke.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It took me like 4 or 5 tries for me to actually get it right.
Okay, so Gold Saucer was introduced Kate Sith. Those were introduced him.
Yeah, case it.
Yeah. And you know, in the original I really didn't care for him that much. Like at
Yep.
all. Even Max said he wasn't really like much of a character. He was just kind of there. But this game made you kind of like him. His
I
gameplay
really liked him.
His
Mhm.
gameplay is iffy. He's probably probably all of ours least favorite because he's kind of weird.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
got some good stuff he can do. You can utilize him in some good ways, and he can be fun. But as a character, though, like his story arc in the game was really well written.
Yeah. And shout out to the new voice actor. He did a great job as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And that
definitely.
Scottish accent was great.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do we go? Well, Gold Saucer. What?
Gold Saucer.
Then we
had
hear
to-
about
we
The-
hear-
the
we hear
Coliseum.
We're going to
Barrett.
get a date on the skyline.
Barrett.
And then we hear.
No,
Yeah,
the
but-
date.
yeah.
The date's later. The date is in chapter
That's
12.
later, like
No, we
Yeah.
go to go on it, but they close us out.
Yeah, they closed it.
because
Yeah,
of
yeah,
what
yeah.
happened with Barrett about what he did.
Yeah,
so we tried to find
yeah. Oh my gosh, getting into the Barrett stuff, dude. Anyone who says that Barrett isn't a compelling character or doesn't have a great story arc are absolutely insane and don't know Final Fantasy VII, because the way they did this story with Dyne was, dude, I was like basically in tears to that, man. Like,
Well, I
Mhm.
was too. I was
I-
too. That's probably like one of the first two where I actually start getting emotional and start crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
I don't know how people can have gone through that and been like, Barrett's not compelling. Like, I thought that whole story arc was so well written, and just like you really kind of like immediately got immersed in Barrett's feelings.
yeah.
And
Yeah, it
also
was-
another thing you kind of catch your feeling. I didn't mean to cut you off, K. My fault.
You're good.
We see the beginning of what's going on in Bear's mind when we go to his in the core region, like his hometown, and how people was like treating him and stuff. That kind of gave him like a little bit of a pass of what Bear had went through. And then of course we saw a backstory of it when Shinra and of course this woman
Scarlet?
Oh. Oh my god, I so hate her so much and stuff.
Yeah.
What she did. But we just see Shinra, Scarlet, and then we see Barrett and yeah. You just see more of what's going on in his past to where that when we get into the Golden Saucer, then
Yeah, which
It
we
adds
didn't
into
even
what's
we
going
didn't
on.
even mention the area before Gold Saucer after the mines, you know, like that little section there before you go to Gold
Mhm.
Saucer where
yeah,
Barrett
that's
grew
the
up
part
and
where
how
Goku-
people were
Oh,
treating
Corel.
him and all that. It was
North
exactly
Corel, I think it was called.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
Well,
with
Yeah.
the doctor.
Yep.
yeah, with the
Yes.
doctor.
Yep.
He's probably like the only good guy around
And-
the whole time.
And Yuffie was like the only one that stood up for him too, which was cool. It's
Mhm.
like, you know,
And
the,
Yuki.
the feisty
Respect.
little
Yeah.
sister, like I said. The
Yeah.
feisty, she's the younger sister of the group. She,
Mhm.
you know, it's just what she does. She's such a well-written character. I loved like the whole Yuffie like storyline in this game.
Yeah, they made her a very, very compelling character. Because in the original with her, she's not very well developed character. She's just this ninja that wants to take your materia, you know? She's got some okay stuff in there, but like you don't care about her the way you do Cloud, Barrett, Tifa, and Aerith. You know, like you don't care about her as you do them. Same with Vincent and Sid, could be said, and we haven't even seen the third game yet, and we like them. We don't know like a ton about them yet. So like Vincent and Sid, there's a reason why they weren't playable. We're gonna see a lot of stuff on them in the third game, but
For sure.
we'll get there. We'll come back to that. Gold Saucer we talked about. What was after Gold Saucer? Were we going to Gongaga, right?
We go to Corel Prison.
Oh, right. Yeah. So finding what was it? The plants for the chocobos, or for the chocobo, the plants. I think at first I had a hard time finding them.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
It didn't really take that long for me. I kind of just figured out where to go and stuff, and it was kind of a little straightforward for me.
Dude, that whole area down there, like when you see that band playing and stuff, it's just all so lively. It's crazy.
It reminded me of the Mos Eisley Cantina from Star Wars. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but it
No,
definitely-
I can see it. I can see that. Yeah.
The reason finding the plants was hard for me is because apparently I'm really bad at reading directions and stuff. And it's like I had to like talk to the girl like 16 times.
Oh,
and
so
she's
did
like,
I.
Go to this place, and go to that place. And I'm like, where do I go?
What?
And she's like,
no,
I just told you. And then I couldn't find the places though. And I was
Yeah.
looking, I'm like, I don't know where any of this is.
Yep.
I just know where to go. Like I talk to her and stuff, and I just look at the map and say a new discovery. So I'm like, okay, I guess I had to go over there, and then boom, that's where I'll be able to get them.
Yeah, my mods were
That's
making fun of me. They were like, they were like, okay, she literally just told you where to go, and then it unlocked on your map. Like, just use your eyeballs. And I'm like, I genuinely can't find it. Like, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I was lost with that too, 100%. So that there was the box mini game was back, and that was down there.
Oh,
Yeah, it sucks.
It wasn't all
It
that.
sucked because it was like ridiculously difficult. I actually had fun doing it,
Yeah.
but like I could never do better than like I could never do. I don't know. What was it like? Did it go by S rank, A rank, and B rank and stuff like that? 'Cause
Yeah.
I think I couldn't get any better than B every time. And like I would go a different way. I would try a different strategy. I'm like, I don't know how to physically do any better than I'm doing. Like,
Yeah.
I can't figure it out, and I just gave up eventually.
Yeah, I had to you should have seen the hard mode version. Ha. I had to look it up. I had to look up how to do the hard version of the mini game because it was awful. I had to like look up what like kind of a basic idea of what the route was that I should be going to get it, because it was just like there's stuff everywhere in so many levels. That mini game was just annoying. I like that there was a downs like a underground like Coliseum type area, which we didn't talk about the Coliseum at Gold Saucer as well, which is freaking awesome, which was awesome, but we didn't see much of it until later.
Yep.
It's okay. It was just some challenges at first. But the underground thing was just more battles, which is always fun. More challenges.
Yeah.
So.
Literally like an underground fighting square, like an illegal chicken fighting or something.
Did you guys see outside of the prison where like Aerith and all them are in the prison? There's just that giant bird. I think it was a giant bird. Like standing right next to the prison, there's just like a giant bird.
I'll have to look that up.
I don't recall. I'll have to go back and check though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a bird, just some giant creature right next to the cage, just like guarding it.
Yeah,
I might. I had to kind of check that out. I probably did not pay attention.
I believe there was. Anyway, yeah.
I feel like Gus was underutilized. Like he had a lot of spunk and personality, but like after that moment, he was done.
I guess it was
held your friends hostage, and that was it.
Probably because he wasn't in the original very much, anyways. Either he just kind of served his purpose. True. He just served his purpose as the guy controlling the prisoners or whatever.
But again, I mean, he had a small role, but again, he may have another role in part 3.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah,
we have no idea. Yeah.
We don't know, so we'll see on that.
So then you go back
Okay,
in the coral region. The cactus mini games suck. The cactuar mini
agree.
games are ignorant.
The proto
I only
relic.
did
and-
one. I only did one.
They are
cat-
ignorant.
minigame.
If you do them on hard mode, you will be very angry. You will hate everything because they suck. Listen, how do they expect you to use Aerith and take down all these cactuses and get a specific score with Aerith? Like, the Yuffie ones ain't so bad, but the Aerith ones are awful.
Yep.
Aerith-
The Aerith attack's so slow and for no damage.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
you have like a specific ward to basically get like her strength, her base attack go a lot more faster and stuff. So you have to kind of do that. And also, nothing I was gonna say is, I guess with Aerith though, especially if you play in hard mode, is
The-
that you
the
got to
hard-
be like.
The hard versions
The
of the
hard-
mini games are awful. It's horrible.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if you want to make it
Took me
easy,
hours.
I feel like to make it easy, I know you have to kind of like.
well, they didn't even
mess
let
around
you.
with it.
They didn't even let you use specific abilities that Aerith has during
Oh well, no.
during the cactus side
Set
quests.
basic attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just about to
Mm.
say to like if you like change around her abilities and like her materials, and like, okay, it could make it a lot more easier for you if you just use like experiment and stuff.
Yeah,
but
which you can't on the
Attack-
mini game. So that's the point.
I know, and I'm
yeah.
like, well, never mind. So
Yeah, they're
I
kind
mean,
of.
So we get-
I haven't done
we
the
get
hard
access
one,
to
though,
the
so I haven't
buggy
done that. Oh yeah, the
to move
buggy.
around
Yeah,
the
the buggy's
desert.
amazing. When you first hear that buggy music, it's like, oh my gosh. It was, you know what, it was giving me Final Fantasy 15 vibes, but better. Because like Final Fantasy 15, you're on a journey with your friends in the car and you get to play music or whatever. When the buggy music plays and you're driving around, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting Final Fantasy 15 vibes, but this is even better. This is way cooler. Like, because it's the group that I love even more, that I grew up with, and it's like, oh, this is so sick.
I do like the Final Fantasy 15 song though.
Oh, yeah.
When you're in the car with the boys, but yeah, it's definitely better. This was definitely way better.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
Like, you
because
could, like,
it's probably also because like you care more about these characters than like 15's great, but I feel like this game's, I mean, it's a trilogy, which is insane and way longer. You care more about these characters, and like the story's more in depth with the characters versus 15. 15's
Yeah,
good, but these characters
mean,
are just, it's like so in depth with what you're getting out of these games. It's crazy.
Plus, there was no Noctis. Let me take a picture every 4 seconds from
Yes.
Prompto. Because,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
You act like you can actually
Yeah.
Let me take a
sit down and
picture.
fucking
Yeah.
explore the game. Like,
Yep.
Right. I
exactly.
mean, I just know, at least with 15, the only reason you get more development of the characters is if you just play the DLC. That's the only reason how you get more of
Yeah.
the development of them,
Yeah.
how they became to be and stuff. So
So that stuff was cool. After Coral, did we go to Gungaga? I don't
Yep.
remember how
I think
Coral.
We get
Yeah,
the
that's
buggy to
the
go
one.
over
Yeah,
the
yeah.
water.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
Go over the
Gungaga.
water, and it takes us to the Gungaga region. Okay, yeah. Now, when we first got there and you hear the music, it was kind of like, oh, cool, foresty
Oh my
type
gosh,
region,
yes.
like pretty cool, But I like how I think it's when you're on the chocobo, it's like, okay, now I'm hearing Crash Bandicoot music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I-
Yeah.
it sounds like Crash Bandicoot. It's kind of cool, but
Yeah.
the region itself, when I was trying 100% it, I will say that it got very frustrating. There was a couple points where I was just, how do I go from point A to point B? I got to go around all these different mushrooms. It's not taking me where I want to go. So there was a couple points in the Gagaga region, and I did get frustrated. Beautiful
Yeah.
region, but there was a couple points where I was like, I felt like I was going in circles.
It was
Yeah.
it all looked
Yeah.
the same.
Yep.
Yeah, they
The-
literally look the same.
Yeah.
The exploration of that region was definitely the worst, but that region to look at was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Plus, it had Cisne. So
Yeah.
I just about
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
dude.
Cisne.
This
Oh my god.
Gungaga is a Crisis Core fan that hit all the places for me.
Yeah.
I
I
absolutely
cried.
love Cisne. I was so happy that she was in the game.
So-
I
Go ahead.
had no idea she was going to be in this game at all.
hmm
So I was
So-
very happy.
Oh yeah.
I am hoping that in part 3, oh my gosh, I just hope that we revisit Gungaga in some way to where Cloud mentions Zack to his parents in some kind of way or something. I have more to that. I have more to that story I want to say, but I'll wait till we get to the part 3 discussion, which we're getting there. We're getting there. Oh my gosh!
Yep,
Wow,
yep.
we're getting close, kind of.
One thing I was gonna say though is about Cisne is I'm trying to think. What do they say about her? It's just
She's the
that.
best.
Well, but tell me this: is she the best? Is she the best in Yuffie?
You
Oh
can't
my
make me
God.
choose.
Hey,
I
okay,
guess
well,
I don't know.
okay. Back to what I was saying. At least with Cisne, it's like I know she probably know what probably happened to Zach and stuff, since she was
Yeah.
there during the time, so she know
Yeah,
what
she know.
happened
Yeah.
and stuff. But of course, with the timeline being all changed and stuff, and that Zack is alive in his own timeline, and it was all going on and stuff, and then of course we see the appearance of Zack's parents,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
that when I saw
Yeah.
them, I'm
Oh.
like,
Yeah.
He said
if only they knew
he
what
loved
happened.
you so. He said he loved you so much, Aerith. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. They don't
I'm
know what
like,
happened.
they don't
Yeah.
know what happened. It's
Yeah.
like, what if
Yeah.
they knew? I'm like, I'm really gonna feel bad for them and stuff. Like I would feel
Mm-hmm.
bad for them, but it's just that I mean, I will feel bad for them, but at the same time, it's like there's hope because that is alive, but just in a different timeline
Yeah.
per se. So it just,
Yep.
Could
but
you imagine if they reunite, if he does end up coming back in our main
I
timeline
was
and then
gonna
going
I
back
was
to
gonna
Kadaga?
I was
Oh
gonna
my
mention that. That
God.
was something I was gonna mention with part 3 is
Oh,
if the timelines converge and Zack ends up going back to his parents in the
Oh
the
my.
oh
main
my
timeline.
gosh.
It would be
Yeah,
incredible.
we should
Oh.
hang on to that thought because I have a bunch of we
Yeah,
could
we'll
talk
get
about
Mhm.
that
yeah,
for so
yeah,
Oh, we'll
yeah,
long.
get
yeah.
to that.
but
Well,
Yeah.
I actually had a question about the timeline thing with relation to Cisne.
yeah,
In the Cisne we met in Rebirth, was she ever actually a Turk, or is
I
she
believe so.
no longer a Turk? Okay, so
Yeah.
I
it
think
takes
it's
place
still
yeah,
her.
It was
yeah,
Yeah.
actually
after
in the
Crisis
proto
Core.
relic
Yeah.
yeah.
in
Okay.
Nibelheim.
Yep.
You'll get more about her. Yeah.
Yep.
hmm
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
I know
I should have done it.
Cisne, she's got replaced by Eleanor. The Eleanor's her replacement.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Yep.
this is chapter 9, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this is where things start happening. This is where things start getting
Yep.
crazy.
Oh my
Dude,
god, then we have to.
yeah, cuz like they go there and then like Scarlet shows up.
Oh my god.
That boss was kind of frustrating, man. Well,
I
did we
hate
In her
fight?
her
robot
without
mech.
passion.
Yeah, the other boss was crazy. Like the
Oh,
that creature thing that showed up. I don't
Yeah,
know. That
like
thing was
I
Kojo's
died. I
Glacier or
died at
wild.
least
something.
once
Yeah.
against that boss. I
That
died
thing
once
was
to that.
This
also
is
tough.
It was
is
so
this the
tough.
fight that was inside that you were doing in the reactor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to, that's the only fight I had to turn down to easy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that fight
I
was tough.
I I mean, I died the first time because my first party member was Cloud Bear and K Sith, because I was still playing with K Sith.
Oh.
I was trying to
Yeah.
experiment him and stuff
Yeah.
until I died. So I just took out K Sith and I brought him with, and I was able to beat
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
Like they were sick fights, but holy crap, that and the Scarlet fights were tough.
Oh,
So
Scarlet though,
Scarlet
she just
keeps
kept moving too much.
trying to
Yeah.
grab the materia
Yeah,
for real.
weapon.
Yeah,
Getting greedy.
seriously.
I just used Yuffie that whole fight against Scarlet. I just used Yuffie.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. I
Yeah.
pretty much used Yuffie every time I was allowed to use Yuffie. I pretty much just used Yuffie for everything. It was just it was almost too easy. I was like, maybe I shouldn't be playing as Yuffie too much. Like,
What was? Oh yeah, Tifa almost died.
Oh no!
dude, I was
Before Tifa
shook.
died,
What?
before Tifa died, it was just the
Crazy.
beginning. It was in the beginning before we thought Tifa was gonna die. It was when that was one of the first time when Sephiroth was really manipulating Cloud to where like he basically was like controlling him, and
Yeah.
then he actually like killing the people
Mhm.
and stuff. It's like when I saw that, I'm like, wow. I'm like
Yeah.
Cloud, like Sephiroth have really like messed him up big time, like
Mm.
mentally big time, to where like he practically controlling him and stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and when I saw that when he's about to go attack Tifa, I'm like, he better not. He better not.
He
I'm
almost,
like,
yeah, that man almost killed her.
He
For
almost
real.
he
did,
almost
yeah.
did.
Alright.
And then I like how he
when-
like breaks out of it and he's like, Tifa! And I'm like, dude, what do you mean,
Tifa?
Tifa?
Yeah.
You did this,
Yeah.
bro. You
Right.
did it.
Yeah, and
And
when she was down there, I will say, when you see the first person view, that's kind of like a tease towards the submarine that we're gonna be able to use in
Oh,
part
yeah.
3. Because in the original, you
Oh.
get a submarine that you get to use underwater, and you get underwater exploration. So part 3 is going to be nuts because there's going to be a whole underwater sea or ocean or whatever to explore all over the place. It's going to be insane.
That's insane. I am
Yes.
very excited for that.
Yeah. So
I
not
am
only
too.
so no, we'll get more with part 3, but that is something. And when it came to Tifa, like I seriously thought Sephiroth was about to kill her. Like
Yep.
I was like, what is
Sephiroth
going
went
on?
crazy there.
I was getting so scared. That was nuts. The entire
It's
sequence
like-
was nuts.
It's like, I know we've been bringing up a lot of similarities to Star Wars here, but it kind of is like Palpatine and Vader, kind of like with Sephiroth and Cloud.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
the
Oh.
influence is very, very, very strong, and it's like
definitely.
so interesting to me how
Absolutely.
that played out throughout.
And
the
another thing about this with the Star Wars reference thing is one of the head developers of the game had even said that this game was kind of inspired by The Empire Strikes Back. That this game was going to be The Empire Strikes Back
Okay.
of this trilogy.
Mm.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
definitely tell too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't
It
know
does.
why, but even with the addition of the Star Wars and stuff about with Sephiroth and Cloud, I also see it when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, to where Cloud is like Terra and then Sephiroth's like Master Xehanort. To
Yep.
where
Yeah.
when, and I just saw that and I'm like, I could definitely see that in that way also.
Perfect analogy.
I could definitely see that. It's like Cloud sees Sephiroth as a role model, and like he's all like, a good guy until you actually see his true colors and like, yeah.
By the way, Kay, I wish you luck with fighting Sephiroth in the Kingdom Hearts games.
Yep.
No, no, no.
Good to know. Good to know.
Lance
I'll tell you this.
Torture.
Kingdom Hearts 1 Sephiroth is tough,
But not
Kingdom Hearts 2
horrible.
Sephiroth is more. It's
It's
not that
something
hard.
else.
I mean, it's really straightforward. When it
Use
comes to Kingdom Hearts
reflect.
2.
Use
Definitely
reflect.
reflect
I-
and guard and reflect.
Okay, I can't wait.
Don't worry,
Um,
bro. Don't worry, Kay. If you play Kingdom Hearts, I'll help you out if you need anything because I play for the whole thing a lot, so I basically know.
Gigi knows them
Just
even
gotta
better than I
unlock.
do, and they're my favorites too.
I
Mhm.
appreciate you guys.
Chapter 10?
Oh yeah. Before
We
we
got-
talk about chapter 10, I know when we first met the weapon. I mean, when I first saw the weapon, I honestly thought that
Yeah.
okay, we might be.
These
we might
are-
be beat, we may have to,
These are new weapons. They weren't in the original as
Yeah,
well.
Oh,
they're
These
not
are
the
new
big
weapons.
ones.
Yeah, these
I mean,
aren't the
when
big
I,
ones.
When I first saw them, when I first saw the weapons, I was like, "Oh, great! We probably had to go against them one day and stuff." Until they're actually not hostile. It's like
Yeah,
kinda like
those
they're
ones seem
helping us.
okay. Yeah, the ones we're
It's
gonna
okay,
see,
okay.
the ones we're gonna see in part 3 are gonna be crazy because they are like massive and they can fly around, and
One's
and
underwater.
they're huge. One of them is underwater as well, can swim. They all look similar, but they're all like really massive. And I think they're gonna use them as secret. A lot of them are secret bosses, and it's gonna be they're gonna be crazy. I can't wait to see what they look like because these weapons were brand new.
Did you see the Easter eggs, I guess, on the posters on the wall, like out this game? It's
Yeah,
like, what was
there
it?
was some
It said
Easter
like
eggs.
the Emerald Sea or something like
Yep.
that, Ruby Sky. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
that's a tease
Yep.
if I ever saw
Yep,
one.
because there's weapon, there's ruby weapon, there's emerald weapon, like there's different names for
Mhm.
the weapons in the original.
That whole sequence with like the weapon and everything. That whole like all the cutscenes that happened in that reactor were so good. So
Mhm.
like just it was
Yeah.
so interesting and like visually fantastic. Like there was just enough trippiness where it's like I don't really know what's going on, but I do at the same time to like
Yeah.
where you're kind of also worried about Tifa. It's like
Mhm.
you have to watch this whole long sequence before you find out if she's okay. It was just so
Yeah.
well paced. That whole sequence of events was so well paced.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
And of course, I just hate Scarlet. I just hate her during that whole session. I just hate her so much. Oh,
That's the last fight of her for now. You're
that was the
safe.
last time for that until then.
So where did chapter 10 go? Did they go?
Chapter 10, I think
They woke up in the one place and discussed about it, and then they went to Cosmo Canyon.
Cosmo
for
Canyon.
Red.
I think that's where we chapter 10. I think
Oh yeah,
that's
chapter 10.
right?
Yeah, Cosmo Canyon. Cosmo Canyon. Yep.
I'll say this: Cosmo Canyon. When we get into the town, The music though,
Woo!
it's so
Music.
good. I definitely enjoyed the
Oh
music.
my gosh, yes,
I had
perfect.
I
goosebumps.
definitely with the flute. The flute though, oh my
Yeah,
god,
I
it
had
was
goosebumps,
so
dude.
well done, bro.
Cosmo Canyon, it's so good,
I know, right?
incredible, man. And again, the scale. That town
Yep.
is just crazy big,
Yeah, it's,
crazy
Yep.
big,
it,
man.
that
It's
that was another area
nuts.
where I was just like, holy crap, everything is huge.
Beautiful.
Like
Yeah,
The
it's just
levels of it, yeah, the levels are
Right.
amazing.
yeah. And then like where Bugenhagen, where like his lab is also huge. There's
Mm-hmm.
so
yep.
much to look at. So much to look at in
Many
there,
little
man.
things.
Yeah,
The
so much.
telescope.
Yeah, yeah. It was just amazing, and more Queen's Blood and more side quests, and all sorts of things going
And then of course we
on.
hear not, and then we hear Nanaki's real voice,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
and
yep.
Yep.
that was him and
The
stuff.
And no
freaking
one.
Barrett's reaction was fantastic.
hmm And
Yep.
another thing that we had noticed too is that after we go through chapter 10 and Nanaki start talking with his real voice, that means and any side quest that we do afterward, he gonna just talk in his
Yeah.
regular voice, not that
Mm-hmm.
deep voice
hmm
anymore. If you guys noticed that,
It's good.
Pretty much, yeah. He did use it.
Um,
He did use the other voice once or twice, but for the most part, it was
he wants
just
to try it.
yeah. For
while we're in Cosmo Canyon, what'd you say, D-Man, about the chorus in Cosmo Canyon? What were they singing?
oh my gosh, yeah. So if you're exploring in the town of Cosmo Canyon, um, there's a choir singing in one of the areas, and they are directly singing the main theme to the start of the Advent Children movie. The choir.
Oh,
I
that's
did not get to
I
that part.
crazy.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is Advent Children.
I
Mm-hmm.
think
I
I
was
missed
like,
that,
what?
bro.
Okay, did you catch that? The choir that was singing in Cosmo Canyon.
I didn't, but I have to go back and check now.
Okay,
I'll have to go back.
it's
Yes,
wild,
I had to go back.
Crazy.
wild. Couldn't believe
I
that,
was
dude.
probably too mesmerized by the entirety of Cosmo Canyon itself to even like put together that that's what I was hearing.
Well, you end up hearing that music again later in the game.
Oh, see, I
Yes.
probably didn't pay attention.
Yes.
That was the
Yeah,
news.
You do hear it
definitely
again.
missed it.
You do hear it
Oh my
again. You
God.
hear it again in chapter 14. You do hear the
Okay.
Advent Children music again. Yes.
I didn't
think
pay
I
attention.
do
then.
remember hearing it that time.
Yeah,
But
it was
I have
it
to
was
go back.
before Aerith was before what happened to Aerith. It was before then. It was when it was when Sephiroth when you first get there, before Sephiroth's in the air and does his thing with the spirit with the spirit ghosts and all that. Plot ghosts as we call them.
Yep.
Yeah. Before that. But yeah, so yeah, when we hear that music though in Cosmo Canyon, I was like, what the heck, dude? It's crazy. So going from there, that way we can get further in here. The whole part. How do we feel about the whole sequence with Barrett and Red 13 going through the secret like dungeon, basically, the test, the Red 13
I
test?
thought it was all right. It was cool to see Nanaki's like story.
Yeah, it was kind of
You know, more improved on, more of the gi, of course, from the original. But that boss, I struggled on.
Oh yeah, the boss
Rough.
though.
the
It took me a little
dude.
minute to try to get the hang of it and stuff, especially when I'm trying to help him beat it, and then he put that doom counter on us.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
that boss
oh
was
my God,
crazy.
wow.
That boss was wild. Every boss in this game was wild, honestly. Every single
I-
boss.
That part was cool because I liked finding out more about Red 13 or Nanaki, I guess I should call him.
Mhm.
And like
Yeah.
the gi and stuff like that. I think the part of like the exploring, I thought there was a part where you had to find like these different colored like statue things and put in the pillars.
Yep.
Yep.
I at first got really on stream. I got really annoyed because I thought I had to find all four, and I thought all
Oh.
four were gonna have its own separate boss fight.
Mhm.
Ooh.
But like I reacted to it before I found out what it was, and then I immediately was like, "Oh, thank God, it's not like that complicated." So when I found out it wasn't that difficult, I did like it more. But was that the one with like those like the different types of like magic creatures that like were weak to different elements that were really really hard to kill. I can't remember if it was that area or if it was. Maybe I'm thinking of the temple. I think I'm thinking of the temple.
Yeah,
I
probably the
think
temple.
Yeah.
temple. You probably-
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Gi
Yeah,
were
the
all
temple.
weak to fire.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the
Yeah,
temple.
we-
Where there was
Which
the temple that had like archers and like
Yeah.
sorcerers and stuff. Yeah, that was the
Mhm.
temple.
Mm-hmm.
so after that, seeing Nanaki's story, I actually thought they were gonna show us like a cutscene with Red 13's dad, but they didn't give us any
Oh, that would've
cutscenes
been
with his
nice.
dad. I thought
I'm
they
just
were going
saying-
to, but they didn't, and that's fine. Maybe it would have taken away from Red 13's emotional moment, so I kind of understand why they didn't do that. Maybe that's why they didn't do that. There was different. If you've seen in that building though, there was a bunch of different pictures of like Red 13 as a baby, Red 13's dad. Like there was different pictures all around of his race, and it was like, oh, that's so cool.
Watchers,
so
I
much-
think. What were they called?
Yes,
I don't remember what they were
I
called.
think so.
Mm.
But I
Yeah.
liked that scene when he at the end of that when he's calling out to his dad and like the tear comes down
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, that was good. That was real good. So the next stuff was all completely new and definitely was not in the original at all. It was like, whoa, what the heck? The Gi, when like the leader of the Gi comes around and talk,
Yeah.
and it really just starts expanding like crazy. It's like, whoa, he talks about the Cetra, he talks about the black materia. We see what's going on. The Gi created the black materia. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. They were at war with the Cetra. Like, whoa. Like he takes you
I know-
to like where the Gi came from, like underneath like I don't know if it was another dimension or what the heck it was.
Ugh.
I know another thing that we kind of forgot to mention and stuff, which is like kind of going through each of the chapters. It's like most of the time during the time when we play at Zach and what's going on over on
Yeah.
his side.
Yep.
We kept
I
forgetting.
know.
Yep.
I know we haven't talked about it and stuff, and I want to make sure that we didn't forget about it and we don't get too deep into it. We forget about talking about the Zat segments.
Dude,
It's
The whole
Biggs?
side story.
Yeah, so wait, let's backtrack a little bit more. So Aerith is asleep and Cloud's asleep. Now, I have a
They're in
thing.
comas.
Okay,
But
but
Aerith's
here's the
in
thing.
coma.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, I was thinking about this when I was watching Max's reaction to the final chapter, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So the Aerith that's asleep. Here's the thing.
Mhm.
You see Zack about to walk into that church. He sees Sephiroth. Sephiroth says, no, you're not coming in here. He
Yeah,
kicks
you're
him
not
out,
it,
right?
yeah.
You see Cloud and Aerith. They're inside of that church. Aerith kicks him down, and there's Sephiroth right there to kill that version of Aerith.
Whoa.
Let me tell you, I feel like that could have been the Aerith in Zack's timeline that was asleep, but she actually was awake now. Because I don't think that she would be asleep with all these timelines converging, and Sephiroth is trying to kill every iteration of Aerith. He's trying to kill
Well,
every Aerith in
trying
all
to
these
go around,
timelines. Yeah.
Don't
Wait,
forget.
wait. Now I gotta think about this.
But I feel
though.
like maybe because she's asleep, he can't detect her or thinks she's already dead or something like that. I don't
Another
know.
possibility.
Don't forget that she said, who was it? Marlene said something.
Marlene.
She's
Yeah.
mad
Yeah.
about
he's
Yeah.
gonna
if
kill her.
if Aerith wakes up, that she's gonna
She'll
die,
die.
and then that
Mhm.
Cloud needs to get better so that way he could save her.
Yeah.
So I think that what you're saying could be true. Look, that in order for that to be true, I would think that would have to be Zack's Cloud also, which I don't know if it was. Because if
wasn't.
Zack's
No,
Cloud
it
gets
wasn't.
better,
It wasn't. It was the
Nope.
main.
Yeah,
then-
that
because
was the main Cloud.
she hands him the white materia, hands Cloud the white materia, and that's not even his Aerith. So yeah, he got the
Yeah.
white
True, true,
materia
true.
from that Aerith.
oh, then that
Yeah.
means Zack's
Never mind,
Cloud
yeah.
stayed asleep because he wasn't there
Yep.
to save Aerith.
Yep.
So that could be Zack's Aerith.
Yeah,
Now that I
The
think
one
about
that
it.
talking to
That's
us,
what I'm
the one
saying.
that talking to us is Zat's Aerith.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
that kind of raises a question now, though. If that's Zat's Aerith talking to Cloud, our Cloud, not Zat's Cloud, that means
She gave him the white materia for a reason because she clearly knows that she's about to die and knows that there's a timeline where she probably lives.
Okay.
She
Okay,
needs
now
the
it
white
makes-
material.
Now it makes sense. So now we know that since that's Zat's Aerith talking to our Cloud, that
Yeah.
means at least we know that the air that's playing, that's our main air, the one in
Yes.
Cloud
Yes.
coming, that's her.
Yeah.
And then of course that scene and the white material, Yeah, all
Yeah,
that
because
stuff.
the Aerith
Now I kinda
because
know
the
this.
Aerith in the main timeline, her white materia went clear. It basically went bad.
Mhm.
It doesn't work anymore.
From the
Whereas
whispers.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So the one that he got was from the Aerith, probably from the Zack timeline. I'm presuming that is that Aerith, as she did wake up. It just kind of the way it tied in with him kicking Zack
Wait.
away from the church and then him walking into the church where Cloud and Aerith were. It kind of seemed like that was his Aerith right there. You know?
That, that's another question I'm asking though, because when Ev pushed down Cloud and we got into like this little forest area and stuff, and then
Yeah.
Ev back talking to him, I'm thinking to myself, is that still Zat's Ev or that's our Ev that's talking to him right now?
What does that happen after Cloud's Aerith? I think we might need to talk about this when we get to chapter
Yeah,
14.
yeah. When we get to that
Yeah.
point, okay.
Yeah, I
Because
just mentioned it because you mentioned the Aerith and we were talking about the Zack stuff. So
Yeah,
I
we'll
kind
make
of
sure
want
we
to.
don't.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
another
Yeah,
thing
the
about
Zack
that.
stuff
but
Another thing about Zat's time.
is
Another thing about
interesting.
Zat is that in his timeline, we end up noticing that one of the people from Avalanche is alive, which is
which was Biggs,
Biggs.
which
He's
ended up
alive.
being the one from the main timeline, which is kind of crazy. And then
That's
he
the one
ends
from the
up
main
dying
timeline.
anyway. He ends up dying anyway.
Yep.
It was
Yeah,
like, oh
so
Yeah.
my gosh.
I totally thought he was going to be in it more after
Right?
Remake's ending.
I thought he'll have
Yeah.
more of a bigger role.
I had this theory, and I wanted to run it by you guys, see what you think.
Mm.
To me, it seems like the Zack timeline is in this game was where the remake timeline ended. So to me, it felt like because if you remember in remake, Biggs was alive at the end of remake,
Hmm.
and the other
Yeah.
two being Jesse and Wedge were supposedly, Jesse we knew was dead, and Wedge we were like very heavily implied that he was dead.
Yeah.
But Cloud was the one that was interacting with those people in that timeline, but he's alive in Zack's timeline, which
Yeah.
feels like it to me. It felt like it followed Remake's timeline and just turned Cloud into Zack in this game. I don't know if that's true
Yeah.
or if what I'm saying makes sense, but it kind of felt because there was no mention of Biggs in Cloud's timeline, which is weird because like we saw that Biggs survived at the end of Remake, so I would think that they would have gone to check or find
Mhm.
out, but
Yeah.
I don't think he would have survived in both timelines. Which he ends up dying in Zack's, obviously. Anyways,
Zack,
but
yeah.
Mhm.
Both,
It's like
two of them.
it's like we kind of think about this. It's like there's one timeline to where they're alive, and then there's one timeline to where they're dead. So it's kind of like if you find saying it like that.
yeah.
A
So
lot of them.
it seems just like it felt like to me they swapped like the remake timeline became a separate timeline in this game, and then we followed Cloud, Aerith, and the crew like in a different timeline than was in the last game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's
There's
just
a
me
lot.
overthinking it.
I think
But that's definitely interesting. Now you
I
talk
think
about
the
that.
Ultimadia recently confirmed that there's about six-ish timelines. It's like, oh my gosh.
Jeez.
Because you see, like, Zack, he's like, should I go save Aerith, or should I go to the bombing, or should I go get this medicine for Cloud or whatever? So that's three right there.
Mhm.
It's, oh my gosh. Yeah,
Jeez.
it's all a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to touch upon the stuff with Marlene, I'm kind of confused how she knows all this.
No.
Yeah.
I think I noticed it too. I think if you guys pay attention in Remake, when Ev went and saved Marlene
Yeah.
from what's
Mm.
going on, I feel like with her
Mm.
touching Marlene to where that's how she
There's a
basically knows
connection.
what's going
Oh,
on and
There's a
stuff.
connection.
I
You
could
guys
see
pay
it.
Okay.
attention.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she also
That she knows
touched
what's
Red,
going
or Nanachi,
Okay,
if you want to
that
call
makes
him
sense.
that.
Oh, so
Gave him the knowledge.
do you think that when Aerith touched Marlene, did that give Marlene access to seeing the whispers? So then maybe she's like seeing all this through whispers.
I think so
Very
too.
possible.
Yeah,
Very
you know,
possible.
yeah.
She got access to the live stream. Like she got access to what's going on and stuff. So boo Earth. Because what kind of like proved the point also is that yeah, Earth had touched Marlene and she was able to like notice some things that through Earth and stuff. And if you had watched Avid Children, that's still the Marlene that basically know what's going on and stuff
Mm-hmm.
through Earth. So I was
Hmm.
like, the one that we saw in Rebirth, that's the Marlene that's in Avid Children. I feel like that's her.
Yeah. I could see it.
Interesting. Interesting.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Mm. Where were we?
Um,
Where were we?
What's next?
What's
we're
chapter
in
11? Chapter 11. Oh, by the way, I
Bugenhagen.
wanted to mention Bugenhagen, however, he did not mention anything with timelines.
I totally
Not a
thought,
single
Yeah.
I
Oh,
totally
wow.
thought he was in no.
Yeah, everyone thought he was going to be one of the ones to actually say something about timelines, and he did not. So we're going to hear him talk about that in part 3, clearly.
Yeah.
Because he'll definitely be... He's a big part of... He's more in the story after part 2. Without spoiling what goes on with Bugenhagen's story, yeah, he's a key role of some things that happen, and they're going to do some twists with him for sure. It's going to be interesting.
Okay, I'm very excited.
And I couldn't. I would feel guilty if I didn't touch upon this. Kay, you brought up Wedge. How you said he's seemingly dead. The
Mhm.
proto relic in
Yep.
Cosmo Canyon. Oh,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
it actually shows what happened to Wedge.
It showed
if
his
you wanna-
death.
If you're interested in that.
It showed
Oh,
his
he-
death.
Yeah,
What
he
does?
actually
Okay,
died.
so he does die.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did actually
Yeah.
die. Now we know
Because
what
I knew
happened.
they left it kind of ambiguous at the end of remake, so I
Yeah.
was like, I was like, he could have died.
That
but
that's
I
the
didn't know.
and that's I think I don't know why they would put that as a proto relic. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Why?
Like I get part of it, like the Jesse Wedge big storyline that they told in the proto relic, but not everyone's gonna play their proto relics. So
Yep.
I don't
They
get
want to move on to the hype
why.
stuff.
I really don't get why Wedge's death wasn't like shown in remake, or at least not remake, but just I don't know why it wasn't a proto relic shown in this game. Like,
It was
it's
less
kinda weird.
ambiguous. Yeah.
Very
Like,
weird. Not everyone's doing the proto relics, you know. Very
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah, I regret not doing them all now. I was going to, but then, like I said, like I got so into it, and I was like, I
Yeah,
only
the
picked
Cosmo
two,
Canyon ones
but-
are the best ones. Those are the only like really important ones.
Yeah, you'll see even when we go to
Yeah.
Nibelheim, there's one more proto relic, and I think this one should also been story content. You'll see that if we talk about it, but
We're in chapter 11, right?
Mhm.
Where'd they go from
It's the
Cosmo
Nibel
Canyon?
region.
Oh,
So we
okay.
call up
Then
Sid
yeah.
again.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, we're going to Nibelheim. I think that's what we're going
Yeah,
to.
wasn't the Nibelheim region where you do that weird mini game for the Chocobo?
Yeah, you get like those little
Yeah.
chocobo fruits or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. When you had
Oh,
to
the
throw
one where you
them
had to like climb up the mountain and like throw it, and
Yeah, that was
one
so weird.
Interesting.
again. It was
Yep.
weird.
It was very throw the can and make the chicken follow you esque.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep. So yeah, Nibel region. I thought it was nice. It was a nice refresher because it wasn't as big as the other regions. So it was like, thank gosh.
True.
I was
Yeah.
getting a little burnt out by this point, but I did it.
Yeah, I mean the Chocobo stuff was cool. I guess like the
Mhm.
Chocobo was fun. I'm
Yeah,
trying to remember
you, like-
what all was in chapter 11.
There, yeah, there really wasn't much. You got the
11?
Chocobo Baster you saw, and you saw what was his name? Billy. Billy was there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
From the
But
ranch.
Really?
wasn't also Nibelheim now a like Shinra headquarter too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep,
Basically,
that's
yeah.
when we go to the city
Mm-hmm.
or town,
Yep.
whatever.
Right.
And that was
So
when
the town burned down, and Shinra built it back up.
that was when we got
Oh,
our
yeah.
first really big hint at who Kate Sith really is too. They mentioned
mean,
like the Sith being stuffed and like
Yeah. Yep.
Uh-huh.
just-
Yeah, I'm glad you caught on that on stream. I was like, yes.
Yep.
He's
I mean,
smart.
I just know K Sith though. Like, I'm probably the only one who probably know more of the mystery of K Sith to where he's like remotely controlled, and it's probably from someone from Shinra, which I'm putting against is Weave. I feel like that's him.
Yeah.
And stuff. That's
Yeah.
like he's low key helping us,
Mhm.
but yeah, we
Mhm.
won't know who he actually is until like maybe part 3, and we end up
Right.
finding out that was him who was
How do we
Even
feel?
Another thing
Yeah.
another thing is too is that if you guys notice the poster for like the most wanted avalanche,
Yeah,
he's the
thank
one who
God
actually
you
changed
said
that. He
Yeah.
changed it
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
there was also
So
a part
funny.
I think it was also in Nibelheim where they're having the Shinra meeting, and then
Mhm.
they cut back to the gang, and Kate Sith is like just
Yeah,
kind of
right
dead
though.
like this
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that-
Yep.
because
That's
Reed
just
is
showing that-
active. Yeah.
Yep.
That's showing that Weave is basically was helping us. He was controlling him.
Dude,
Yep.
so how do we feel? How do we feel about the K-Sith sequence in the game?
Oh
Complete
my
garbage.
god, I hate it. I hate those games. I hate
I
the way
like-
we had to like.
Yeah, but that's
They
it.
could have executed
only-
it better.
I just think like
was
I
too
think I
long.
saying to you, Yeah, I was just gonna say, like I was saying to you, Demon was watching me stream that part for a little bit. That
Yeah.
part, I liked. I think that part had a place in the game if it was shorter and like in a different time, because when they put it in there, like the story had so much momentum,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh
then
yeah.
like
They
it
just
came to a
messed it up.
complete hard stop with the Kate Sith
Yep.
part.
Yep.
And then obviously everything that happened after was like made it so worth it, because everything that happened after was so cool. But it was like doing that part, I was like, oh, you had this like momentum going, and now I have to play as Kate Sith and throw boxes at other boxes and like.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god. And
Yeah.
that
Hour
was
and a half.
so
We're over here playing a Mario game.
For like an hour and a half. Like, what is this?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
took
God.
forever. They should have shortened that. They should have cut that in half. It was cool at first, but like once you get towards the end, it's like this is dragging on so
Mhm.
much,
Right.
man.
It
was
dragged
taking
more
so
than the
much,
Temple
though.
of the Gi, and I was like, so
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Temple of the Gi was
good
pretty
point.
long.
It was. Yeah. But at least that was a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Not with
there
that,
was
not with
some
that boss fight. Not that
And, like,
boss
mega
well,
fight.
at least
payoff
it-
toward the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it added something to the story. I feel like the Kate
Mhm.
Sith throwing boxes at other boxes puzzles was just you were trying to figure out where you were going to get access to something, but didn't really add to like any lore.
Yep.
It was just like so monotonous.
Yeah.
But
And
You know,
screw that
yeah.
stupid little mini game that's like crush 10 boxes in a minute. I
Oh yeah,
failed
that
Oh
was
my
like 2
stupid.
times.
Yeah, I failed
Bro,
it. It was so
I literally
stupid.
got like only one more box, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I,
Oh,
I
come
didn't
on,
even know
did
that
it.
I didn't even know that a mini game was starting until it was way too
Yeah.
late.
Yeah.
that's what
It's
happened.
stupid.
I noticed it so late, and I was able to get at least 9 done, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm.
So, but at least after that, we get like the hypest stuff ever.
Oh,
Thank
heck
goodness.
yeah.
Thank goodness it went led right into Vincent. Because
yes, bro.
Yep.
that
Oh, hype.
because that sequence was dumb, and then you go into Vincent and it's like, yes, Matt Mercer, dude,
Kills it.
man,
Of course he does.
always. What a perfect voice choice, man. He didn't even know he was gonna play Vincent. That's the cool part. Like, he was just
That's the
surprised.
perfect person for him.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
perfect.
Yeah, seriously.
And then after that was the Roche thing, right?
Yeah, but first
Roche,
we had
yeah.
to fight. We had to fight Vincent first. It was like, we're doing
Yeah,
this.
Vincent gave you
Yeah, you found
clearance, but not to that.
I did
realm.
not expect to fight that at all. That was crazy hype. I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
I did
but
not
I'm
expect
also
it.
I was also sitting there and I'm like, how the hell were we supposed to know we weren't supposed to go in there? Like you didn't say
Yeah.
anything. You just
Yeah.
like
Hey,
No.
you
The only,
wanna
the
know?
only reason why
you
he
go.
said not to go in there is because everything was all good and stuff until Sephiroth stopped manipulating Cloud. And he went straight into that area that he ain't supposed to go. So
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
really what triggered it right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I'm
Mhm.
like, yep, we are screwed. And I'm like, something's going to happen.
We
Apocalypse
are
gonna happen,
screwed.
And then boom, we going
Mhm.
against Vincent. I'm like, I wasn't surprised, which is why that's what they had said before you continue any further. Figure out who's going to be your main party member before you
Oh,
get any further.
yep.
Something was
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
So
Man, so
I got my main crew, Cloud, Tifa,
Yeah, I
and
almost
Yuffie.
I almost stopped playing for the night after the Vincent fight too, because I was like, dude, it's after midnight. I gotta go to bed, and then I was convinced to do to keep going because it was just one more fight before the end, and I was like,
Mhm.
but no one said another fight. They just were like, I promise, just go. Like, all
And,
right, fine. And then the Roche fight was worth it, man.
yeah.
That was
and
so
then you
worth
did the
it.
exact
So,
same thing
yeah.
to me on my stream. You were like, no, just keep going. I promise. I promise.
Finish
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, your
Um,
stream too, yeah. Because it was like you were at the end of the chapter, so just do the Roche fight, but you didn't know
Yeah.
there was a Roche fight, so it was like, oh, dude, like, Roche is just like, it's so crazy because he's not in the original. He was a brand new created character, and like he
Yeah.
gives me so many vibes of the characters that are in Advent Children, which we'll talk a
Yep.
little bit about.
I could see it.
Yeah, he's like reminds me a lot of them. He's just like this crazy brainwashed wild dude that just wants to fight Cloud.
Yeah, we see
Yeah,
that he
basically.
took the experiment, so he's like all makoed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm like, why he had to do it? I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I was like, why?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, in a way, it's just that for him, for us seeing
Now-
him how he is a Reaper, it's like I'll be hearing some stuff from people like they actually like him.
Mhm.
Like he's like a
Now-
likable character.
Do you guys think that Roche will be back in part 3, but not as his in the Black Cloak? Do you think that he's going to be experimented on again, and we're gonna see something with
Did
him.
I don't know. I
Didn't
thought
he-
we see
think-
him die or something.
Yeah,
I
he
thought we
died.
see like blood. Yeah,
You know what? He ain't
can't
dead.
remember.
No, I think he's dead.
He might be
Yeah,
dead
I'm
actually.
sure
Yeah,
we
because
see him dead.
in the black cloak,
I mean,
when he was in the black cloak in the helicopter, like in the chopper, he had blood coming from his
No.
mouth.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
blood
he's-
coming out of him, but then we saw him again at a temple. In the beginning of the temple, we see him again.
This,
Oh
He was
yeah,
dead.
I don't know.
I thought he
was there.
died. I thought he
no,
died
it was
the
after. It
temple.
was after the temple, when he was in the
After
chopper.
temple?
Yeah, he was in the chopper with Rufus and what's his
I
name,
could've
and
sworn-
Hojo.
I could have sworn we had saw him again when he was mentioning about black materia, and he was just
That was-
walking around.
That was
That's
before
before.
he died. That was
Yeah.
before the blood scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have that right. It was just you. It was before that. So then
Yeah.
after
Oh,
he
okay,
leaves in the
okay.
chopper and he like it was like a brain aneurysm or something.
Yep.
Blood coming out of his mouth and
Oh, okay. I feel like I
Yep.
feel like he'll come back in part 3, but I feel like he will get experiment on, and he will be really
I don't know.
recognizable,
It's
but
hard to
he's
say.
coming
We'll
about
we'll
it,
get
and-
we'll get a little bit more into part 3 shortly.
Yep,
With
for
Roche
sure.
with Roche being something.
Um,
But let's go directly into chapter 13 with Temple of the Ancients, because
Man,
Temple of
just-
the Ancients was just
Oh
freaking.
my God.
It was
Before we bounce
very
there,
long.
though,
What? What do you got?
It was so long.
Okay, if the Vincent fight, it's actually his limit break from the original game.
Yeah, so we're gonna be able to use
Oh,
that.
beast.
We're gonna be able to use that in the third
Really
game.
cool.
yeah, somebody in my chat was telling me that I'm definitely gonna play the original game before part 3 comes out because there's some stuff I
Oh,
want
I
to
am
see
too.
beforehand.
Yeah, I played it before
Oh,
Rebirth came
cool.
out. I'll replay it again probably
Um,
before third game
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm thinking about playing the OG.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's fun.
Yep.
But
So we got to get to the temple.
yeah, Temple of the Ancients was like
Wait.
so. What are we missing?
Oh, we go back to
get
Golden
temple,
Saucer.
We go back to the
Oh
golden saucer.
yeah, we did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because that's when we go into where we see what's his name, the Dawn, that guy. I forgot-
Dio?
Don Corneo.
Oh,
Don
Corneo.
Corneo. We
Oh,
see him
Don
again
Corneo, yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. We had to go
That
through
stuff was
that.
sick. That stuff was awesome. Those fights
But
were
the
so
fight
good,
the fight
Rufus.
with Rufus
dude.
sucked.
Yeah,
It was just
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
tries.
yeah.
No. It sucks, but then I kind of know what to do with him. It's just that I just let him keep attacking. I just go, and then as soon as he's about to reload, that's when I attack him. That's when I put.
Yeah, yeah.
There you
I
go.
figured it
That's
out.
it, man.
I figured it
Once I
out. It was
figured
just
it out,
tricky.
It was. I just took
But-
forever. Took me
Yeah.
forever to figure it out for some
Yeah.
reason, but that
But
was
don't
fun.
Tricky.
Don't forget though, before the fight, of course, we had to go against Elena and Vu once again. So we had to deal with them for the
That
second
too.
time.
Yeah.
Hard fight in hard
Two,
mode. Let
okay.
me tell you, hard fight in hard
Oh,
mode. No
jeez.
joke.
Yeah.
I like
No
how
joke in
before
regular mode.
I like how
No,
before
no,
you
yeah,
before
regular.
you fight Don Corneo, I like how the guys from the arena in remake
Yeah.
came back. That was
Oh, they were
amazing.
awesome.
yeah.
Amazing.
Oh,
They had the rap. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
so
awesome.
good.
And-
So
Oh,
good.
we didn't mention Loveless.
I was just gonna
Loveless
say, can we
here.
talk about how amazing
Yeah.
that
Loveless.
play was?
Insane,
Fantastic.
dude.
It was so fantastic. I got really emotional from just looking at it.
Goosebumps.
It was so
Seeing
good.
Jesse again. Oh,
Yeah,
Dude, did you guys
yeah.
get who'd you guys get as Rosa?
Tifa.
I had Tifa, I think.
Got Aaron.
And then I did Aaron.
Got Aaron.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this from just looking at that and then looking at the whole play. I feel like the one who would play as her, it makes sense for Ev to be playing as her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because she
And
wrote
then-
the song for it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yep.
Especially to look when we was going for the sequence of, because you know the rhythm type game, of course, with the fights and stuff, and then
Yeah.
you see her holding a staff, and I'm like, it felt
Yuna.
so good looking at Tifa and Yuffie just
Oh yeah.
holding
Yuna,
it. So I feel like holding the staff, and I feel like
Yeah.
seeing Tifa and Yuffie holding it, I'm like, that felt so weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, it makes no sense.
It's weird
to
seeing
have-
Yuffie
Yeah.
in the role.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
D-Man, was Loveless in the original?
No. Absolutely not.
So was this I don't have any of you played Final Fantasy 9?
Yes.
James
Yeah,
has.
Was the
I
play
did.
was the play called Loveless in that game? I think this was a Final Fantasy 9 Easter egg.
It might have been, but Loveless is
Oh,
actually
wait.
from Crisis Core.
Oh,
Genesis
you're right. You're right.
talks
You're
talks
right.
about it
You're
all
right.
the time.
That's right.
Okay.
You're
Mhm.
right. I did forget
Yeah, it
about
might be
that.
in
Okay.
Front 9 as well. Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
if
god,
Chris
that
was
song,
here.
though. That song though, oh my god,
Yeah.
so beautiful.
it was
we-
great.
What y'all think about the song though? That people were saying how that's Elle just singing to Cloud, like what she's saying in the song is to Cloud. That's what people saying that it could be. That's basically what it is. But and then other people saying that it could be just Hub and Zach. Like, what y'all think is
Uh,
about what the
Well,
song goes?
based-
But yeah,
Ye-
sorry,
yeah,
go.
I think it. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, based on what I got, I literally like because I maxed out Aerith, like it really did feel like she was singing to Cloud because it was basically how I was playing the game
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and how the game was playing out for me. But that doesn't. I also do like, I have like both sides where like part of me like as much as I love Aerith and wanted to be with Cloud, I feel like the game wants Tifa and Cloud together and Zack and Aerith are supposed to be together. So it's
Yeah.
like part of me is like playing on both sides. So like I can see both sides of that where it's like one person says she's singing to Zack and one side where she's singing to Cloud and they both kind of make sense to me.
Yeah,
So
and then another thing that's about the song though is that I don't know why, but just listening to the lyrics to it and it's kind of like really paying attention. It's like it's more like a foreshadow to where like they're going to meet again, probably
Yeah,
around part three. They
You know,
may
I
meet
would
again.
love if they play that
I like
song at
that.
the end of part 3. I feel like just like well they ended the
Aw.
credits. The credits for this one rolled with that song though. So I feel like maybe it wouldn't be the credits. Maybe they would end it like the full final cutscene of part 3 would have that song, but they might come up with a
Yeah,
new they might come up
Xenoblade
with a
does
new
that a lot.
song. They could come up with a new song though, so we'll see.
good pull, Jim.
I
I
don't
was
know.
just gonna say that like the the song at the end of Xenoblade 3 is so good.
I'm gonna try to play
Ah.
Xenoblade 3. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna make sure I do.
It's
Definitely.
So where are we?
Alright,
Oh yeah, we
so
were at Temple of the
so
Ancients, man. Temple of the Ancients
Yep.
gave us so much lore.
13 time.
What else we
Hold
got?
on.
You got something else?
No, we got two
Um,
things. Of
What?
course, the Skyward date
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
we talked a little bit
That
about that.
stuff.
It was great.
And then also the betrayal of K Sith about what he had did.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
before we
ignorant.
get to the temple. It was really
Yeah,
ignorant and
that
stuff.
was that
and-
but it
wasn't.
was for the best. He
Yeah.
defends himself later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't
He
the
defends us
original.
later.
By the way, that wasn't the
It
original.
was the original.
So yeah,
Okay,
it
gotcha.
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
now we go to the temple. I just want to make sure we at least
Yeah,
talk about
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, the temple's freaking crazy. So
Oh my
big.
God.
It's
Long,
For
man.
something that's linear and not open region, like long,
It's
man.
crazy. It's crazy to note that with Chapter 13, that's when I started streaming. So that's when y'all asked me
Yeah.
to stream and get my reaction on that and stuff.
Yeah.
And, well,
I mean,
Oh,
not
Chapter
a there's
13 is-
yeah.
huh?
Sorry. I was just saying chapter 13 was pretty much exclusively the temple.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
It's
Like
really
that's
Yeah.
how long that chapter was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
With
you,
the crew
the
and
first,
the
I'd say the first half was a little bit slower, you know, getting through the first part of the temple as you're following the Turks and everything through. But like once you get to that second half, like the most memorable part is them seeing their past, and
Oh, whoa.
that
oh my
entire
Oh,
sequence
the trials.
was
Yeah.
I
the
don't
trials-
even think about it, bro.
even when
I'm
I was
talking about
watching
the-
even when I was watching Max's reaction to it today, he was like you could tell he was like his eyes were like watery, like he was holding it in
Wow.
hard. He was holding it in
Wow.
hard because it
Really
was
good
like,
stuff.
especially like
It
you go from one after the next, and you don't think it's that bad at first. It's sad, yes, but like once you hit Barrett, it's like, oh no,
It's
here we
Yeah.
go.
You finally got
And
to
then-
see his wife.
And then from Barrett directly into Aerith was like,
No, bro, I got so
Whoa.
emotional when we get to Air's part.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
crying so much.
it was
bro.
hard to hold in. It was hard to
The
hold in.
disrespectful people.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
go up to it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Hey, I was thinking, I was
Um,
saying the same exact thing when I was streaming it. I was saying the same exact thing. I'm like, bro, in my mind, I was like, I was cussing them out like big time. I was like, cussing. I'm like, I hope that they just go to hell for this. I'm like,
And-
I try to think about this though. Like, if this would have happened to them, they would make sure someone going to help
Yep.
them too. Like, think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
It's
made me like Elmira a lot more because I used to hate Elmira because
For
of how she
sure.
treated Cloud. But then I
Yeah.
saw this side of her and I was like, oh man, she's the only one that helped Aerith.
See,
Yeah.
it's I'm so glad they included this because in that what is it? Traces of Two Paths, the book, like
Mhm.
there's probably like I don't know 15, 20 pages on like this whole segment, so you could hear like Aerith's internal thoughts and like just like seeing like that whole segment go through and when she sees, um, Yeah, she sees Elmira and stuff, and it like describes where Elfauna's like, here's the white materia, like hold on to it, it's very precious to us. It's like so I'm so glad they included that and made the book canon because it's such a
Yeah.
good moment and
Hmm.
it's it's part of her character. So good.
Yeah.
I'm just so saddened from just looking to an air to see her mom, and it's just
Yep.
that was it. And I'm like,
It's
oh my god.
it's
Yeah.
crazy because like even in the like I said in the book later on when she goes to the flower house with with her mom now,
Hmm.
she could still see the ghost pretty much of her mom like
Mhm.
at her bedside making sure everything's going all right.
Yeah.
I'm getting like a little teary eyed like
Yeah.
thinking about it again, but it's so
It's
crazy.
very powerful. Yeah, very
Let me chill. I'm
powerful.
about to get emotional again just thinking about it.
Okay, all right,
Yeah, for
all
sure.
right. Then let's flip around. We skipped over something entirely important, and that's the new guy in the cloak that is
Oh
apparently
yeah,
in Ever Crisis. I can't remember his name
Oh
right
yeah,
now,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
that
that
guy
dude.
is
Yeah,
like a key part of some stuff that'll happen in part 3, which
well, he's in
is things related to like
First Soldier.
yeah, he's trying to start a war like with Wu Tai, with Soldier, like
Glenn.
Glenn.
Glenn,
Glenn.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know
Glenn
why, but I feel
Lockrock.
like
Yeah,
let me commit.
I
that
I
was
I
my
don't
blowing scene.
entirely I know he's tied in with Sephiroth, but like
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
it's
He got tied in
Yeah,
with
confusing
that ball.
I
because
am
he
glad you brought
also
him up.
he
Yeah.
clearly doesn't like Shinra. He clearly hates Shinra.
Hmm.
What he's doing with Wu Tai, I think what he did to Wu Tai, he did on purpose so that people want to go to war against Shinra.
Yeah.
He planned that out. So there's
Um,
definitely going to be some kind of war between Soldier and Wu Tai in the third game, no doubt.
I,
Yep.
s- I
But
saw in Max's discussion they said like Sephiroth sent him there or something to like distract Rufus
distract
away from
Rufus.
Sephiroth. Yeah, to
because
make
Oh
like
didn't
a
yeah, I think
war
that
with
I
Wutai.
heard about that. I heard
when
about that.
he first appeared in the game pretty early on, didn't Rufus say like you were supposed to be dead, or I thought you
Yeah,
were
cause
Yeah.
dead
yeah,
to
that's
him?
how
Mhm.
Yeah.
the game ends. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the game he was in or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Yeah, I haven't played Ever Crisis that much to where I didn't
Yeah.
Ah,
I haven't even
know
played
it's
it, and I have it in my Steam library. I just haven't played it.
oh,
Yeah.
it's in my Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
yeah,
I had to bring that up
he's
because that
definitely
was like
crazy.
something important that we completely overshadowed for a minute on
Do you get?
something very
Oh,
important.
it was also in the Ultimania. Somebody pointed out what is the Wutai governor or something? Government? What was their name? Do you remember?
uh,
They were like, "Oh, he's
uh,
gonna show up on TV," but then
Viceroy
he knows.
Saroof.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody said that's pretty much Rufus like mixed, like his letters are all mixed up. So they're like, "Oh, that it might be like a ploy." You know what I mean?
That's genius.
It's
Who
like
ever thought of that?
it's crazy,
Yeah, I guess.
crazy stuff.
Do you notice how Rufus's name backwards is basically Suffer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Um.
Very.
I mean, he
So
kind of
back at the
did
temple.
suffer. I mean,
Yeah.
when we see it and having
Yeah.
children and stuff.
Oh, we didn't say the Red Dragon. Screw that boss too.
Yeah, that
Oh,
I
boss.
hated him.
So,
I'm about to say this. I was about to mention that boss because I was gonna beat it on my first try, and I kind of figure out what's gonna happen before I get that one shot kill. And I did.
Yeah.
It didn't happen to me. I
yeah,
know
yeah.
Jesus.
I had to like look it up because I was like, wait, how do I dodge this lava? I'm so confused.
Annoying.
I was so
I dodged
confused by
one went to the
that.
corner. I just dodged one went
I
straight to the
didn't,
corner. That's
I
what I
didn't
did.
know what to do at first. I died, and I'm like, oh, you got to go the opposite way of where he's breathing the
Mhm.
lava. And I still got damaged bad, but like I made it away from it still enough to where I could beat it second try.
And
I
of
was
course, it's better
confused.
to go goofy because I just used her
Yeah.
for that whole
Oh
boss.
yeah,
I just
definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yuffie and Barrett, I
Yeah.
think are good.
I didn't use Barrett. But I mean, now I know that when we play, I'm gonna bring
Oh.
Barrett in this.
So,
We
Um,
fight the
we gotta
dragon.
we already talked about the past scenes and all that stuff. Basically, we're getting towards
Um,
the end stuff now for the most part, honestly, and that'd be Sephiroth,
when
the Black Materia. Yeah,
they
when
got the black
Yeah.
material, and then that's
Yeah.
when K-Sib made an appearance and
that part
basically
was
saved.
amazing. That part was amazing with
Hype
Kate
as
Sith,
hell.
dude.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
when
So
and
hype.
like
yeah.
when
Totally.
like even when they escape and he's like dead, and then the Moogle puts his paw like on its hand on top of it,
Mhm.
like Dude,
Aw.
how did they make that so emotional? How'd they
Aw.
do so good with a character I knew wasn't dead? Maybe some of you didn't know if he was dead or not. You probably assumed because he's a
Yeah.
robot that he wouldn't be dead. But I don't know if you knew if there was multiple puppets or not.
They probably didn't pay attention to what happened.
Yeah, he
to
must
where,
be
like,
building those
start-
things fast. Jeez.
Well, I
Yeah,
assumed he like wasn't dead because I knew he was like a playable character throughout most of
Yeah.
the original.
Mhm.
So I was like, there's
Oh,
no way
yeah.
he just
Yeah.
I mean, well,
beat it here.
Aerith died, so.
True.
Yeah.
True. But here's a question.
point.
Do you guys think that Aerith will be playable in part 3? I say yes.
Mm,
I say yes.
I think
maybe toward the end. I don't know.
Well, I have
I
to
say
say
yes.
yes because of my theory on what part 3 is going to be. So I have to
Okay.
say yes.
I say absolutely yes.
Okay,
I'll
so
say yes, she'll be playable, or that we're gonna see some appearance from her and stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely
Oh yeah,
a lot
she'll
from her.
be in a lot of the game, no doubt. If Cloud's
Definitely.
seeing visions of her and everything like that.
No, another thing I was
Also-
gonna say about Aerith though, it's close to the end though about Aerith, which we'll get to that point too. So I don't want to say it right now. I'll wait till we talk
Yeah.
a little bit more of the Ursa before I get into that.
Yeah,
and
Um,
bef-
we at the part to where
we're at Sephiroth. We're at
yeah,
Sephiroth at
we
the
got
end of chapter
we got
13 with the
Sephiroth.
black materia. Yeah, which that
Black
scene was
materia.
freaking crazy when I thought that
Oh
Cloud.
my
I was like,
gosh,
I was
yes.
like, wait a minute, is Cloud gonna be the one to kill Aerith here? What's going on? I was like, are they gonna really change
Whoa.
this here? I was like, are they really changing this?
insanity.
They really almost got me
No.
there. It really almost
What
got
really
me there.
cracked me up? What really cracked me up is when Sephiroth manipulate Cloud, and then Cloud was literally just chasing Aerith and stuff, and then he just doing that
Yeah.
little crazy laugh with that and stuff.
Oh, the
Evil.
laugh, the
That evil
laugh.
laugh, I'm like, okay, Cloud is
Uh.
like, oh my god, it's like he's gone. I'm like, he's forever gone if he's doing this.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was a
like,
little,
oh.
that was a little unnerving actually.
It was kind
Yeah.
of like a little like I just hope that we ain't killing Elf this early now. Like we better not.
Yeah,
I was
right.
saying like we better not. Like no.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
then we get back into the whole Zack stuff going on, and we're going into chapter 14, and then we start chapter 14 after Cloud gets pushed by Aerith or whatever, and then we're in the house and all that stuff.
Oh, we're on
and
the
then-
date.
Yeah, the date. Yep, which is with a different Aerith. I don't know if it's Cloud's Aerith or not. That's.
I think does that lead into the church? No, that's after the.
That's
No,
after.
yeah,
the
that
church.
leads into the
That's
church
after.
where he pushes him out, right?
Oh yeah, it leads into it.
Should
Yeah,
be.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
we can assume that's probably Zack's Aerith then.
Okay, then yeah.
I feel like it is, but then
Yep.
that's wasting another question though, because when we get into that dream and then we're talking to Zach's Earth and then the Cloud, we playing as our Cloud and stuff, and I was just wondering what happened to Zach's Cloud, like where he at and stuff, like is he
Still
still
asleep. He's just
he's
still
still
asleep.
asleep? It's just that yeah is he
So
still
what I'm
asleep to where, like,
wondering- What I'm wondering is, are we gonna see like both Clouds meet each other in part 3?
Oh
It's like,
my
are they
gosh,
gonna?
I'm
Are they
glad
gonna?
you brought that up. Yeah, that's part.
Are
of
we
part
gonna
I'm
get
gonna-
that wacky with it?
Do we
I
think one's gonna
so,
be evil?
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh.
about being evil though.
Well, yeah, because I think we're gonna have an evil Cloud fight boss.
Oh,
fight. That's my
yeah.
guess.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like that too.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna
Okay.
have because Tifa's pretty much the party leader in like this part of the game and
Yeah.
the OG.
I could see
I
it.
just feel like the evil Cloud may be Zat's Cloud. I feel like that'll probably be the evil one, right? Not our main Cloud.
I don't know.
That's that kind of.
Oh yeah, he
Well,
put
I don't
the
know.
red materia,
I was
black
gonna say,
materia.
remember
Can
at
you
the end,
imagine-
the very end of the
Yeah, black
game? He
materia.
put the black
Yeah, he
materia
did.
in his sword.
Yeah, he went.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he put the black
Yeah.
materia in his
Okay,
sword.
And the
I'm gonna
weapon.
say
Yeah.
that.
Can
Okay,
you
I'm gonna
imagine?
say
So,
that.
can you imagine if they actually go crazy with this and our main Cloud actually becomes bad and we have to literally kill him with the Cloud from Zack's timeline in order to, like, progress the story properly? So the
That'd be
actual,
insane.
yeah. So like our main timeline Cloud actually dies and the Cloud from Zack's timeline lives, but Zack also lives. That'd be nuts. That'd be
And I
insane.
think
No, you go first. You're good.
no, I was just saying one thing is that as far as personality wise, like I just kind of see it like Zat's Cloud is basically that's how Cloud actually is and stuff before all this Marco poisoning and stuff. That's basically how Cloud actually is and stuff beforehand. So I just think that it makes sense to where like our Cloud would be the bad one if they ever go to that route, and
Yeah.
then the Cloud that we're playing is Zats because that's when we see more
Mhm.
of the other side Cloud that we probably have not seen. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I mean, you know how Cloud was acting doing if you play Cloud Score, how he was and stuff. He's kind of like a
Yeah.
little shy, like a little
Yeah.
shy guy
Mhm.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
but he's starting to like open up a little more and stuff. So I feel like that's
Yeah.
probably how they would go when it comes to that.
Gosh, a Cloud boss fight. That sounds crazy
I
to
could
even
see
think
it.
about, but I can
Think of
see
like
them doing it.
Spider-Man 2.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about Spider-Man
Yeah.
too. I was
Yup.
thinking about
Yeah,
that.
you're right. Because Peter was a fight. Yup. I can see it. then.
Spider-Man 2 was so good too.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
really good
it is.
example of
Oh,
like what
Definitely.
you could do with this game. Really good call.
mhm.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that that's a good idea of them to do.
You were gonna say something, Kay?
I was gonna say like I think the reason I think like maybe one Cloud is evil. I think like my theory. We're gonna get into this more when we talk about part 3, obviously at the end here. But I think my theory is like I have like this really weird feeling that like nobody that's dead is gonna stay dead. And I don't know
Yeah.
why, and I can't explain why, but I just have this like feeling that like everyone's
Mhm.
gonna come back and reunite and like
Yeah.
kind of like
In some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
Yeah.
that one Aerith is going to live regardless, because the thing is that Sephiroth is going through all the different timelines that exist, and he's trying to kill every single Aerith that exists. But there's
Yeah.
gonna be one Aerith that lives, and here's the thing too. I'm wondering, is the Aerith that like I'm confused because Cloud sees Aerith live, but then die. So I'm like, is there
No, no.
is that does that mean that the timeline that Aerith lived is the timeline that Zack saved or Cloud saved her?
Another thing we gotta think about this too, because adding to what you said, D-Man, about how Cloud was able to see Aerith knowing that she's dead and stuff. It's
Okay.
another thing too that if you kind of notice, um, when Tifa and them came through and saw Aerith's body, you
Mm-hmm.
see in Tifa's to where you see blood and then you don't see
Yeah.
no blood. If
Yeah.
you kind of
Yeah.
notice that, and
Mhm.
like
That's
something's kind of like weird about like how Tifa's seeing that
Yeah.
and stuff. And then of course Red can feel Aerith,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's another thing too on that.
It's
And
there's a lot.
it's a
Lot
lot,
to
and I feel
interpret.
like it's a lot to interpret on that scene alone about okay, something's really off into where it may be another timeline to where Aerith is practically is alive, and that what they seen is probably I don't know. It's a lot
Yeah.
to interpret when it comes to that and stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of noticed it when I seen that scene. I'm like, something's really off.
So
Also,
I'm
you
wondering.
go.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Mhm.
you sure? Okay. Hang on. So I'm wondering
Yeah, you
if
should. Yeah.
the the Aerith that we think might live, the one of the there were two white materias, right? One we saw fall into the water,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep,
the other one Cloud has now because of the second Aerith.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Are we thinking that maybe the Aerith that survives doesn't have a white materia, which is why she survives? Because Sephiroth is only after the white materia. He's trying to get rid of the white materia.
Mm.
So that's why Cloud has the white
Uh,
materia. He's going to give
Oh
that one
yeah.
to the Aerith that doesn't have it.
Yeah.
I didn't think of
ooh,
Probably
that
the
one.
one passed out or
wow.
whatever.
I don't know. It's just a
Yeah.
thought.
That's actually a good way to think
Yeah, I
about
didn't
it.
even think of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, that's a
No,
good
that's
one.
the the question though. When we come to the hint, basically about materia, it's to this day. Like, of course, we go through that whole final boss with Sephiroth and stuff. I mean, of course, all that
That
ordeal.
is just
A lot.
Well, the final boss fight with Sephiroth, that
and
took
I
me a little
thought
minute because
Remake did it good.
Right?
Rebirth though,
they done so much. It's
it
like,
made
oh my
me be
god.
like, okay, we're getting a third game. What is they
Yeah, this was the
Zach
final boss of the
Zach
first one
and
of the OG game.
I thought Zack and
That,
Cloud fighting together was going to be the third game. Max thought the same thing. He said the same thing. He was like, they're not doing it in the third game? They're doing it
Yeah,
now?
Maybe Jack
that
will
was
be a full
crazy.
party
it
member.
was crazy.
Or-
But now I thought about it to when we was playing as Zack, I'm like, the more we play as him, it's like, see more. I want to play more as him. Like I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like I was kind of thinking about all the stuff that we was doing on that segment. I feel like we should really like they should like really like. I mean, of course it's part two, so they can't go too deep into it. But
Yeah.
hopefully in part three we could really like play more as him
You
and
know what would be
stuff because
crazy? what would be
What?
crazy is if in part 3 it's not just Zack, but he has a party.
Yeah.
Oh my
You know?
god.
No, the new Avalanche.
Yeah.
The new Avalanche. What happened?
I
They
think-
were that's part 3 right there with his. That's his
Cla-
party
hey,
right there.
I mean, Cloud wakes up. Maybe
Yeah.
Oh my
There you
something. I mean, whoever lives. Imagine,
we got-
imagine Zack having conversations with Tifa and Barrett. Like
Dude.
the
that would be
possibilities here are crazy.
Yeah.
Well, because we still don't know what happened to the rest of the Avalanche in Zack's timeline.
Yeah.
We can presume they're dead, but we haven't actually gotten confirmation on it.
Yeah,
Right.
they were
Okay,
just
that's true.
on the helicopter or whatever.
Right.
But we just
Helipad
know,
thing.
we just know that with Avalanche, at least the new crew, we at least got 2 members. One is Johnny, is a possibility.
Oh,
2 is what's her name again?
dude, Johnny would be so
Kyrie.
cool.
Kyrie?
Kyrie. I feel like Johnny and Kyrie may be part of the new crew and stuff since we see them.
That'd be neat to be a
Yeah.
part of Zack's team, but the thing is they would, if they did that, they would either not be playable or they would have to have an entirely new like fighting move set, and I don't know if they would do that.
Well, they don't, yeah, I don't think they'd have to be playable. Maybe Roche could
So-
even be part of his crew.
I feel
If
like
you
they're not
want
gonna be
him
playable.
Roche, yeah, that'd be wild.
I feel like they're not gonna be playable, but I feel like they'll at least replace, Jesse and Wedge type thing to where they'll kind of
Yep.
like
Yeah.
NPC. but,
They
like,
got some
helping
wild
out.
stuff. They got wild stuff they can do. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of this stuff until we started talking about it. These are things that I never had really thought about in the Zack
And another main
timeline.
thing about too is to where Killier. I hope I'm saying her name right. Oh my god.
Hmm.
Oh my god, I think messing up. But it's just that you remember how we met her in with Bits and Zach. We met her, and then she just act like, "Oh, I don't care about Avalanche," and that they just
Yeah.
got fooled by what she said. And as soon as she left, you saw her backpack was in right there, to where she was probably thinking about joining. So that's probably going to hint
Mhm.
to where she may join in with Zach.
Oh yeah.
So you get
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
backpack.
I'd be very surprised if she doesn't have something to do with that in the next game.
Oh, they better.
That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
there's some
Yeah.
problems, bro. She's really starting to
They
be
brought
like,
her back again, so
Yeah.
I'm saying. But I mean, I'm still pissed off at what they did with Biz. I feel like they could have said a lot
Yep.
a little bit longer than
Mhm.
this. So I'm like,
A
they really
trick.
just messed them up big time.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, we'll see. To be honest, part 3 is very unpredictable. Part 3, we got some predictions right with part 2, but there was some things we thought wouldn't happen until part 3. So the fact that they did it in part 2 is kind of crazy. So with part 3, I do absolutely believe we're gonna. I don't know how much they're gonna do of like Dirge, but we're gonna see because the thing is like this game went like in places that were parts of the ending of the original game, which is crazy. They didn't bring in Rocket Town, which is where Sid is from. That's where his was it his wife, James? I don't know if he was ever married to her.
Girlfriend or wife.
Yeah. So we didn't get to see his rocket, so they didn't go to space, any of that yet. So in the end, obviously, it's gonna be they're gonna go to space in some kind of way at some point in the rocket that's in Rocket Town, which wasn't in this game, which I find interesting that they changed the way that you meet Sid. As well as Wu Tai, where Yuffie's from, we're gonna be able to explore a massive version of Wu Tai and get to know characters in Wu Tai, which is gonna be so cool. We might even see Yuffie's family. Who knows what we're gonna see? Although I think her family's aren't they dead? I don't know.
Yeah, she said that. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Well, that'll be cool. And then the town, the Bone Town, in the original, the Sleeping Forest, you don't go to the way this is to get to Temple of the Ancients. You go Temple of the Ancients is in an entirely different location. You go from this Bone Town that leads into the Sleeping Forest, that leads into the not the Temple of the Ancients, but the whatever that place is called where she's praying at. So they completely changed that a bit of location. So Bone Town's another that wasn't in this game, and then the snow location. I don't remember the name of it.
Snow Inn.
Yeah, that wasn't in this as well. That'll be in part 3. And snowboarding will definitely be in part 3 because that was teased at the Gold Saucer. So we're gonna have a snowboarding mini game for sure. I hope they bring back the basketball mini game too. There was a basketball mini game in the original as well.
Basketball.
I think that'd be fun. I think that'd
I
be
just know
fun.
I ain't getting platinum next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, right.
Too much work.
But those are some things that will be in there. I will say I think Advent Children absolutely is going to be a big part of part 3 because the thing is like we've seen part 2 its ending have a lot of stuff that is like towards the end of the original. I think that part 3 is going to have the ship. I think that the regions you're just going to be able to go right to them. You're going to be able to fly directly to them all because they kind of teased that at the end of chapter 12 or whatever in Rebirth with the smaller ship. But I think it's going to be completely open. You're going to be able to fly and be able to see everything from above. It's going to look super super cool. And I think that Advent Children is going to be a big part of it because I think that they teased it at the end of Remake. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if you've seen Advent Children, but super good movie.
Yeah, but you need to watch it.
Was it us that we said the one day we think they're gonna like tease Kadaj and all the other guys?
Yes. So basically, there are 3 characters that are like Sephiroth clones, and in the movie, the basic concept is that they want to bring Sephiroth back with their mother, which is the Mako, right? Mako, liquid or whatever the heck.
Like a box or something,
The box, that they're calling Mother or whatever, and they want to revive Sephiroth, and it's a whole thing, and I want to know how they were created. I want to see if Hojo created them, where they came from. I want to see some explanation there, because this Sephiroth is from the Advent Children timeline, from the future. That's why he's so dangerous. So I think Advent Children's going to have a big part in part 3.
Yeah.
Dirge of Cerberus, I don't know.
I mean, I kind of feel like, definitely agree with Advent Children be the main part, but I just kind of just feel like they're going to have to add Dirge, because Dirge of Cerberus, I mean, you guys got to think about it. Dirge of Cerberus is technically the finale of 7. That's basically the epilogue of 7. And that talk more about Vincent and his backstory.
And because Cisne is in Rebirth, I do think that there will be some Dirge stuff. Plus that one guy that killed Yuffie's friend was from Dirge. So there will be more Dirge of Cerberus aspects in part 3.
What's his name?
Weiss.
We meet him in Integrate.
So
I feel like they're gonna have to include that.
Yep. So part 3 is gonna have aspects from the original that we haven't seen, that we are familiar with, but it's also gonna tie in so much Advent Children and so much Dirge. It's gonna be like a lot of stuff in there. Like the second half of the game, I feel like it's gonna have a lot of new stuff, like new locations or whatever. Like it's gonna get crazy.
Same locations, but the plot, they have a lot. They can
there's a lot
change it up. Go crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was unaware that. Sorry, you go first.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was unaware that Dirge of Cerberus was like a huge part of the story. Like I've owned Dirge of Cerberus for years, and I've just never played it. And I just
a lot of people
know it was like
you're fine with not playing.
A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like it very much. Maximilian dude played it through a couple of years ago, and he didn't really like it, like the story.
Well, yeah, I mean, the story and then of course the gameplay though. It's really just
But the thing is like even Max said like before, like if they're gonna integrate, if they're gonna integrate stuff from Dirge into this FF7 trilogy, then they're gonna do it properly and correctly. And so far they have.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be cheesy. It's not gonna be silly. It's gonna be done very properly, well done, and tied in really correctly. Like Cisne wasn't in this just to be in this. Like she's gonna have a part in the 3rd game. Dirge is going to be there. Advent Children's going to be there. We're going to see a lot of crazy stuff happen. We might even see multiple Sephiroths. We haven't seen multiple Sephiroths yet. We've seen his origin story, his backstory, and all that. We've seen his backstory and all that. But the thing is we've only seen as the main Sephiroth, the one from the future. So we haven't seen, like we've seen multiple Clouds. We've seen multiple Aeriths. We haven't seen multiple Sephiroths, basically, really yet.
Could you like I said before, like I thought it would be the ending of this. Could you imagine if he pulled a Kingdom Hearts and he's like, "All right, me and young Sephiroth are here from Ever Crisis,
Oh
and
my
now you
gosh.
fight us both."
Oh my
That would
god.
be
Bro.
I don't even, dude. Or
Oh
like,
my
or
God.
like, actually, Max,
so
Max brought this up actually. What if there is a Sephiroth that wants to fight this version from the future Sephiroth because
Oh my
he
god!
disagrees
Maybe
with,
the good one.
yeah, because he
Maybe the
disagrees
good
with
guy.
what he's doing.
Oh my
So we could have
Yeah.
evil Cloud and good Sephiroth.
That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't that be a boss fight? Even Cloud with Sephiroth. That would
Dude,
be a good one.
if they do that, I am going to be. I'm gonna pause the game, run around 3 times, and then I don't know. I'm gonna pull a SpongeBob or something. I don't know. You know.
That would
I
be
want to see that
insane.
happen just so I can see
Bro.
what that is.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what that is, but I have to know.
Bro,
Oh.
for real.
I didn't think of
Man,
that.
I'm just waiting for when we get some news about
Holy
part 3.
moly!
I didn't think
Yeah,
about
that's gonna be
that.
dope.
They're gonna go crazy with this timeline stuff.
I'm
The way it's gonna
saying,
converge.
Oh.
I didn't even think
I'm
about
very
that either.
excited.
An evil
It's gonna be
Cloud
cool.
and
It's
a
gonna be real
good
cool.
Sephiroth versus an oh my gosh versus
Oh my
evil
God.
Oh yeah.
bro.
Whoa.
So like Cloud and evil Cloud and regular Sephiroth will be fighting
Oh my
against.
god.
Yeah.
Dude, you could have Zack, good
Zack-
Sephiroth, and Cloud together fighting. That would be
Oh.
insane.
Oh
That
my
would be
gosh.
insane.
Bro,
If they do it.
I don't know why I thought about that. I don't know why I thought about this, y'all. Is that you guys saw the cover for Crisis Core, right? And it showed
Yeah.
Zack, Cloud, and Sephiroth.
Mhm.
Imagine that.
Oh, if they did it on purpose. They did it on purpose.
They did
Yeah.
it on purpose, and then in part 3, they all going to team up. All three.
Oh.
They did it. They did it with Crisis Core and they did it with Rebirth.
Imagine that.
They did it
Oh
on
my
purpose.
God.
They're sending
I feel
us
like
signals.
that's-
They're doing this on purpose. It's like how Zack and Cloud both fought against Sephiroth. Like they hinted at it with the cover. It's like Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. They hinted at the final boss on the cover with the 2 dragons. They hinted at there's these little hints with games. You got to really use your brain and think what the
Yeah.
future holds without realizing it. They're doing this on purpose. And wow. No, I think you guys are right. Wow.
Insane.
Wow. If they do
That-
that,
Hella awesome.
that's crazy. That's actually crazy.
insanity if that's
Not-
what they do.
They're-
That would be-
Well,
It'll be
the,
called FF7.
I thought that them going with Zack and Cloud together would be crazy and a dream come true, and it absolutely was. But if they're gonna go crazier than that and have Zack, Cloud, and Sephiroth all fighting together against against Sephiroth and Cloud or whatever the heck, plus you have an Aerith alive and
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't
And
even know.
Zach's in the main team.
And you have the
Zach's
whole
finally
team.
back.
Plus you have Genova going on over there. You got more with Genova as well that has to be finished off. So it's gonna be insane. And then you, like I said, you have the Advent Children stuff too. You have the 3.
Yep.
You have Kadaj and the other 2 guys as well, which we might be fighting them in the game. I'm gonna be real with you. I think we're gonna. I think we're going to.
Dude,
I do.
do you think there's a world where we play as evil and we play as like, and then Sephiroth has his own party of people and it's them?
Dude.
Maybe.
Oh my
You think
God.
like would they go that insane? Would they do that?
Dude.
Like with the good,
Well, I
like
mean,
with a
he
good
was playable in this
Sephiroth,
game.
like with a good.
Even
I
in all
don't-
the challenges.
I don't even know. I feel like there's so much they could do now
There is.
that like I don't even know which way they
Because
go.
if there really is this many timelines, not just having the Zack playable timeline and the main timeline, it kind of makes sense to have maybe have one more in there.
it does.
No, wait.
I don't know.
There's another character that I kind of remember. I forgot his name. He was in Crisis Core. And
Oh, Angeal?
Oh,
Genesis?
that's another thing. Angeal and
Angeal?
Genesis. Imagine if they bring them
Yeah,
back.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
think
what I
about
know
that.
they
Yeah, Genesis is still
I-
alive. He got
I-
taken off on the helicopter.
I didn't.
I
Yeah.
know.
They have to be saving Genesis. There's no
Yeah.
way they're not.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what about
Like,
those two? We
Yup.
may end up seeing. we
As
may
for
see him in
Angeal,
part 2.
we know that he died in Zack's timeline because Zack
But
has the
he's
because
alive.
Zack has the Buster
All the
Sword. But there could be
Busters, yeah.
another timeline where Angeal lived and Angeal has his Buster Sword.
What
Imagine,
if we
dude,
have
this finale is gonna be
all-
insane. What if we have everybody?
All 3 of them
No,
unite, and
Popo.
Angeal
Dude.
has the Buster, Cloud
I
as the
don't even-
Buster and Z.
One of the timelines is Final Fantasy X.
No.
I think I think
don't-
Max even mentioned that before in the
I don't know
his
why I'm
thing.
thinking about this, but it's like if you got talking about all timeline, all like combined together, and it's like all the good versus the evil.
Yeah.
What if they pulled this like a Marvel Avengers Endgame?
That's
Oh
what I was
my
thinking.
Yeah,
Why
it's
they
gonna
pull
be
that?
it's gonna be something
13
crazy.
lights.
That's kind of what they're doing, except reverse, because Sephiroth
Well,
knows
here's
he
the thing.
lost, so
Here's the
he's
thing.
coming to
Yeah.
fix his loss instead of the opposite in Endgame.
Yeah, well, here's the thing too. They need a Sephiroth if you think about it, because this Sephiroth literally sliced the timelines in half. He's in full
Like
control
Thanos.
of this.
He basically
Yes.
Thanos.
So they
He's 40
need
chest.
a Sephiroth, because if they don't get a Sephiroth, then they won't know how to stop this guy with the timelines and what he's doing. If they get
Yeah.
another Sephiroth, they'll have a Sephiroth that will know this knowledge and will be able to figure this stuff out, figure out this whole timeline stuff and what the future him is doing, so that he'll
Dude.
be able to go to other timelines
This
to
is where
be
the
able
young
to.
Sephiroth comes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
there's.
the young, so
I don't know.
Oh my god.
young.
We're getting crazy here.
pre-Nibelheim Sephiroth.
We're getting
Like
crazy
young
here.
Xehanort. Remember, he was kind of good.
We're getting insane here when it comes to
Here,
the theories, dude. Like,
The Crisis Core Sephiroth, yeah.
Yeah, that
I-
too. Yeah, before he was good.
This is insane, D-man. Like,
yeah, I
Like-
we didn't even think of. Yeah, I didn't even. I forgot. Like, you have Angeal, you have Genesis, you have the whole main party plus Sephiroth, Zack, Cloud, plus and maybe an evil Cloud, and that Sephiroth, plus you have Kadaj and the other two guys from Advent Children. I don't know. Plus
Here,
you
Blue-
have
GG.
the other villains
What's
from
her name?
Dirge.
It
yeah.
Here, the Kingdom Hearts doesn't stop. 13 lights versus 13 darknesses. Right?
Oh my
That's how they
gosh.
set it up.
Oh my god, bro.
I mean, this is the Kingdom Hearts director, right? So
Tetsuya Nomura.
any
Yeah.
of this could be in play. Any
Yeah.
of this could be in
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. And if James, you said there supposedly is 6 timelines.
Yeah, that's what they said in the Ultimania. Yeah, they said like here's because all the stamp dogs
And
stuff.
that's canon, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, the Ultimania, yeah.
So
Okay.
then,
Just came out.
so then that could mean in one of those timelines, Genesis is alive and Geo's alive in one of them. That could mean like
Oh my
any of these
gosh.
things could happen. Any of
And
these
Yeah.
things could happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah.
We may find good
Maybe
Sephiroth.
that's
Good guy,
why they
Sephiroth.
cover. Maybe that's why now this all makes sense why they did Zack and Cloud together in this game, because they're gonna go even crazier in the third game. It makes sense why we got majority of the locations in this game too, because I think the first half of Part 3 we're gonna see Rocket Town, we're gonna see Wutai, we're gonna see the snow location, but those are the only locations that we haven't seen yet from the original. Those are like the only locations I can think of that we haven't really seen, other than like when they go to space or whatever. But that's like
Yeah.
at the end of the game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So like, and then obviously we're gonna be revisiting Midgar as well. That's like a big thing, revisiting
Oh my
Midgar.
God,
Midgar's gonna be
oh.
back as well, so we're gonna be
Dude, we get to see
revisiting.
Marlene again.
Yep.
That's gonna be so wholesome.
Yep. Yep. So there's like all that as well, revisiting Midgar, plus the locations we already have, plus new locations, plus other timelines. This game's gonna be bigger than Rebirth, that's for sure. It's gonna take even longer to beat, no doubt. I
Yeah,
have
it's definitely going to be the longest of the 3, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I just want to bounce back to the Aerith death because they brought up in the Maximilian discussion. Was it just me, like Aerith, like yeah, it was like sad, but there was so much going on around it. I was like, what is even going on? Like I wasn't even thinking about her death. Like I was theorizing, oh, what does this mean? What is that? It didn't really hit me that much. Was
Yeah,
just
it
me?
wasn't. No, I don't think it was quite as impactful as the original. I agree, because it made you just think more than being sad
Mhm.
in the heat of the moment, because of the sword ending up having blood after it didn't have blood, and it was like, wait, we just seen him save her, but then she actually died. Either that was Cloud's vision, and he just actually didn't save her, or there's just a timeline where she lived by him
Yeah,
saving
I-
her. You know,
That's why I think that eventually she, like, when I said that nobody's going to end up staying dead, is because, like, because of how they kind of changed it from, like, an emotional scene to, like, a thought-provoking kind of, like, you got to
Mhm.
think about it scene. I think that might kind of just support, like, It would be more. I just think they would have kept it more emotional if they didn't plan on potentially hinting at bringing her back or something like that in some way, shape, or form.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially like because Cloud has that holy materia. So I do think maybe the one Aerith not having that ever is like kind of a possibility because it seems like Sephiroth's going after that materia in all these timelines because like I said, we know one disappeared and went into the water and then he still has the other one. So that would make sense that like the one Aerith that survives would be the one Sephiroth doesn't go after because he doesn't have to challenge the holy materia.
And then Cloud gave her that material. So
That's what I think.
And I feel like Sephiroth just know it was too late, and then basically now, I could definitely see that.
That's gonna be
my
crazy.
God.
There's so much like I don't even know how they're gonna do it in only 3 games. Like
Exactly. That's what's so crazy. Like the possibilities here are like now we know that because they want to go bigger and better than they did with the finale of this, that they're gonna do some of the stuff that we're theorizing. They're probably gonna do. They're probably gonna go nuts. They want to go nuts. They're gonna go crazy.
We're
I'm
gonna
glad
be
they're
like,
already working on it.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna be revisiting this content that we're making like years from now when this comes out and like going over our bullet points and figuring out like keeping an eye out for what they do and what they don't do and like that's not even counting like DLCs potentially for this game or next game or if there are any for this game. I know they said they probably aren't doing any, but that could always change. Like it's like they could tackle all this like in a random DLC that they didn't announce until whenever they feel like it, you know. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we have any titles? What will it be called? What could it be called?
So it has to start with We're all going with that.
Yeah.
It's always read something.
Chris said redemption. Chris said redemption, but I don't think.
I feel like it's gonna be reunion.
The thing is, like Sephiroth has said reunion multiple times, so it would make sense. But Crisis Core's name is reunion, but maybe they did that on
Homecoming.
Maybe they did that. No, because it has to start with Re.
Well, now if they did it on purpose, remember we were saying the covers to Rebirth and Crisis Core are similar. So maybe they are doing it all on purpose. So maybe they are tying in. Oh, dude, that's. Or maybe they're just doing this. Maybe they're just doing this to get us thinking about this, and it could be not this at all. But if it is reunion and that ties into Crisis Core, then I would have to assume that Genesis and NGL do make an appearance.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah.
Maybe they just say reunite. Maybe even.
You would think.
Yeah, or like
Cloud and Aerith reunite.
You know, the crazy part is too is that if we get another Sephiroth that knows how to go through timeline related things, then technically they could just get Angeal or Genesis from their timeline that they end up dying in whenever they want. Or the future Sephiroth can grab Genesis too, because obviously Genesis isn't a good guy, so I mean Sephiroth can do whatever the heck he wants.
That's true.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
That's how powerful he is. Reunion is logical.
No, I said that before. Reconnect.
There's just been so much of the word reunion in both remake and rebirth, and it's like, why did they call Crisis Core reunion? Like it's just weird that they used that for Crisis Core, and it throws me off.
Yeah.
If
it wasn't even really a reunion in Crisis Core, like you know what I mean?
Right.
But that could just be a foreshadow of what's gonna happen in part 3.
Yeah. If what we're saying is like does happen with like Angeal Genesis and like Aerith not dying, it could be called Revival or something like that.
Revival?
Yeah, Revival, yeah. Remade.
Oh my god.
If they just said that.
That too.
Oh my god.
Very.
I'm just trying to think
like
Yeah, and then the thing is, it's like titles that we're not thinking of, we'll probably think of later. I forget what Max's choices were. I completely forget. And he said it's really hard this time. He called Rebirth's title before the game was even announced. Before the title was even announced, he called it to be Rebirth, and he said he can't figure this one out, which goes to show that they for someone who knows so much about FF7, which is Max, that says a lot. If he can't even figure out what the title will be called for Part 3.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Cloud and Zack being in this game kind of threw everyone for a loop.
It did.
So it's
It
like,
did.
so
Yep.
where do you go now?
Oh yeah,
They go crazy.
they gotta
Okay, so-
redefine it.
More crazier.
Another one.
Exactly. The only way to do that is to either bring in Angeal or Genesis or, like you said, Evil Cloud, another Sephiroth that's good. That'll help them. I don't think they're gonna do all of this. But if they want us to lose our minds, then some of it, like bringing in Angeal to fight with Cloud and Zack, would be sick. But then you got to think, well, what about Sephiroth?
Well,
Getting a
Wait,
good Sephiroth would be interesting.
Oh my
not
god,
right?
we're saying another Sephiroth. What's another Square Enix game that has Sephiroth?
Oh
Kingdom
my god, are
Hearts.
they gonna take Kingdom
That's where
Hearts?
Sephiroth went at the
They're
end
not
of
gonna
Kingdom
pull
Hearts
from-
2.
Bro, what
No.
did make Kingdom Hearts canon to what's going on with Part 3?
Would they
Bro,
pull
no
from
way.
Kingdom Hearts though? Would they do that?
No
Yeah.
way.
No, we
Because
get them
Sephiroth vanished.
No,
I
we
think they would.
He went to Smash, man. That's where they went.
No.
Mhm.
They went to Smash. And
Yeah.
then also, if you guys remember the boss fight with Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2, and him and Cloud just disappeared while they're fighting. So we don't know
Oh
where
my
they
god.
at.
And it was
So that
Advent
leads to Part
Children.
3.
It was
That's
Advent Children Cloud.
Yeah.
Well, that lead into Part 3 right there with them.
Yeah, that's why I said I want to see those Advent Children outfits in Part 3. They got to be there in some kind of way, man. They got to be. I don't know how
Man,
far
shoot.
this I don't know, because we don't know how far this story's going to go. Like, it very well could even have a time jump for all we know into Advent Children, you know? It very well could. I don't think it'll quite go that far, but there will be plenty of Advent Children things that happen in this game, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'd pull from Kingdom Hearts, but they could definitely
No, that's
they
going
could
too
definitely
crazy.
use that as like a it's the same director, so he could very easily do some of the things. I think that the chances of them doing nothing that we've said is very unlikely. Like some of the things we've said will be done, I feel like.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of trying to figure out which ones they do and how to name the game from there.
Mhm.
At this point, but man, it's and there's so much left unsaid and unanswered.
Yeah.
Like the end of the game was so confusing on purpose.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
I just kind of want to know where they're gonna take it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like I said, it would be sick to see I feel like another version of Sephiroth helping them makes more sense than bringing in bringing in Angeal or Genesis. I feel like they might keep that stuff in the past, but if they bring it in, that'd be sick. But I feel like just bringing in another Sephiroth makes more sense.
Yeah.
Well, because we were saying, if it would be like an Avengers Endgame kind of thing, but in reverse, where the one Sephiroth now is coming back because he saw that he failed, so he's coming from the future to make sure that he succeeds.
Yeah.
Another Sephiroth from the past could come in and stop that Sephiroth because he doesn't agree with him.
And destroy his universe.
There's so many things they can do because they can Crisis Core, there's parts of Crisis Core where Sephiroth's not evil.
Yeah.
So it's
You think about this in Crisis Core. The only reason why Sephiroth became how he was through the influence of Genesis when he was telling him more about what Sephiroth actually is and stuff. That's basically how Sephiroth became, how he is.
And it makes me wonder, with Genesis, if they were to bring him into it, he would want to kill this Sephiroth. He would want to be that Sephiroth. He would want to have that power. You know?
He wanted to be like Sephiroth. He basically wanted to.
Aren't they both from the Genova project too? They're both. So
the G cells, yeah.
Yeah, Genesis is the failure one, and Sephiroth is the perfect one.
So dude, there could be a whole thing where those two fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're playing Sephiroth, and we're going against Genesis with that matter.
There's so many things
There's
they can do.
just
I like
so much.
how they left this game because there's so much they could do, and all of it would be cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So if they go in any of these directions, it's all gonna
Any
be
of it'll be cool. Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
So they left themselves with so many things to choose from.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's insane to even think about the amount of things that you can theorize and think about for part 3 is I'm trying to go from a logical standpoint, but again, they brought in Dirge of Cerberus aspects, and some of these fights, some of these characters might just be in Chadley fights or whatever. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
but
That would be lame,
It would be.
such as Weiss, for instance, like that was a Chadley data fight or whatever, and some of it might just be
Yeah.
there, but if it's a key element to the story and all these timelines really are going to converge, which they will, we're going to get some crazy stuff happening because all the timelines are going to converge. All of them. Before it was just Zack, it was Zack and Cloud before. It's going to be more. It's going to be more. It's going to the ending's going to be longer than this ending was and Remake's ending was, and both endings were fairly lengthy.
Yep.
And like I said, it's gonna be longer. It's the game itself is gonna be longer than Rebirth was because there's gonna be more locations to explore. There's gonna be more characters to play as. It's gonna be fully open now because you'll be able to fly once you get that ship. You're gonna be able to fly everywhere and anywhere around that you want. I'm just and they already the cool thing is like I believe them when they say that it'll be out in 3 years. Because they already have that world built. You know, they only have to add a few new locations. They already have that basic, a majority of that world is already built. You know, and they just have to expand upon it with other locations. And Remake brought in Midgard. They already have Midgard built, so they have a majority of this stuff already finished. And it sounds like part 3 is going really smooth. So as long as nothing happens or goes wrong, then we probably will see it in 2027. For the 30th anniversary.
Good.
That's I mean, it's still so far away, but I mean it's better than 2028, 2029.
Yep.
So,
Yep. We got plenty to play till then.
Can't wait for 2027 when Chadley is a super boss.
Oh, dude.
Could you imagine?
Jokes on us. Chadley's actually the main villain of the game.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like Chad's gonna pull like I want to test your strength type thing, and that he just gonna end up becoming the super boss to test out our strength. I'm like,
gee, I would lose it.
Oh man.
And
you
then
won't lose it per se because I know you want to just keep beating him up because he's so annoying. Keep beating the crap out of him.
Does anyone have
everything you did.
have anything else that we can think of?
I'm glad we discussed the game of the year of 2024.
Yeah. I feel like there's nothing else. I don't think I can remember anything else to think about.
I'm sure Reno will be in it more, which
I do think that Reno will be in it more. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get a new voice actor in Japanese for him, and yeah.
I think that was like the only thing. But I mean, I did not miss fighting him though.
No. No. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's.
Guys, we went over 3 hours. Wow.
I mean,
I did not think we would go this long. I did not think we would.
We were just so into it, and then we just like talking about it. So hey,
there's just so much stuff. I mean, even if we missed anything, we talked about the majority of everything and anything to do with the game and to do with part 3 and everything. So I'm totally cool with that. Plus, if there's anything that we may have missed, then people can mention it in the comment section below as well. Anything that we may have possibly missed, if anyone wants to, if anyone even makes it to the end of this, because this is so long.
Comment.
So dang
Zach
long.
is awesome.
I mean, your big FF7 fans might, because they love this kind of stuff. Like, I watched all of Easy Ally's 4-hour long conversation on the dang game, but it wasn't like all at once, because that's a long time. But
yeah, it was definitely, if people listen to this or watch this all the way through, it's going to be in increments. I hope. Like I would hope that they were like not killing their own sanity listening to us theorize about this for 3.5 hours straight.
Yeah, right.
I just want them to like just take this and know that that could be interesting. That could happen. Oh, I just actually thought about it and we just mention it. Like I just want them to like get awesomeness discussion and stuff.
Yeah, it's very fun
Yeah.
theorizing, especially with something such as this. It's a ton of fun because the amount of possibilities, and that's why I don't know why people complain about the fact that they didn't do a 1-to-1 remake for the original game, because that makes it less fun thinking about the possibilities of things that were like Zack and Cloud being fighting together was a dream come true. That was something that we never expected to ever be a possibility, where there's a timeline where Zack actually lived, you know.
Yeah.
And to know that happened and to see them fight together was a dream come true, you know. Especially when like my brother, when I was little, had the PSP version of Crisis Core. I still have his copy and his PSP, and it's like there was a reason why they brought Crisis Core back to the PS5 and the Switch and everything, was because of Zack lived in that other timeline. It's like, oh, we want more people to play this game so they know who this guy is. You know,
more
like,
to him.
yeah.
Really
And now,
Wow.
like we mentioned, the cover art of Rebirth, they're teasing us with stuff. They're just secretly teasing us with things that are to come.
Why I feel like this? I feel like it's another teaser too, because of course, in the cover of Rebirth we see Cloud, Sapphire, and Zack, and in the next one we see Tifa, Sapphire, and Aerith. So is there something
There
going
was one of those. You're right. There was a cover,
Yeah,
a
it's like there's something
separate
going
cover
on
art.
with showing those three also. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Too hard to tell. Too hard to tell, man. Like for all we know, Cloud could end up giving the black materia to someone else with his sword. Something happens, and then someone else is evil instead. For all we know, you know, Cloud would make the most sense.
Yeah.
But for all we know, any of that can happen.
Well, because we just don't forget, it's in his sword. Like, that's what's crazy. Is like the game ends and he's like, oh, what's this? And what's it? Right in
Right.
his
That's
muscle.
what I was gonna ask. How he even got that black material back? How he even got
Yeah,
it?
I'm glad you did say it. Yeah, I was about to say it.
We was even like we
That's a
never
good
seen
point.
like he grabbed it. Like how he
There
got
was
it?
True.
there was two
Because
things.
he's the evil Cloud.
It was that. How did he get the black material, and how did they like fix the wings on the tiny Broncos suddenly? Like they were broken, but then they're just like there.
Mm-hmm.
The tiny Bronco.
Did he have them in
plot
his
armor.
pocket or something? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, now that I think about it, because of how powerful this Sephiroth is, it would kind of make sense to bring back the white wing, you know, with Angel or Genesis. Did they both have the white wing? No, Genesis had the black wing.
It's Angel.
Angel,
had the
it would,
Yeah,
okay,
white
so
wing.
it kind of makes sense to bring back Angel then. I think it'd be cool to see the white wing versus the black wing, you know, like the way,
Symbolic.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It just, there's so many possibilities. I love it.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're pushing 3.5 hours almost. Holy crap! All right, any final thoughts? Are we done?
All right. All I will say is, whatever happens, embrace your dreams, and whatever happens, protect your honor as a soldier.
Yes. That part was really cool. That part was freaking awesome.
Right.
When we both did that. That
Right.
was sweet. All right, so as long as YouTube lets me, because I don't know what's going on with like the whole adding links in the description. I don't know. It's like they changed something. I don't know if I can add YouTube links or not, but I'm gonna try. If not, I don't have Kay's channel recommended on my channel yet. I'm gonna fix that. But if I can put the links in the description.
I think what you can do for the description is that you just you hit the app button, you just type in like the first letter of somebody's name, and that's when it'll pop up. That's what you just do.
I'm gonna have to change that for sure. But Guardian Gamer, Kay, I'm gonna try to have their links in the description. If not, I promise I will. I'm gonna add Kay's channel to my recommended channels. I have like 9 people there or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna add K's in mine too.
well.
Yeah, I have to do both of you for mine because I forgot that you could do that until just now. So I have
Yeah.
to go back.
He does Twitch.
Yeah.
He does Twitch more, but he plans to do more with his YouTube channel, which is awesome, and we support him with whatever he does. Ever need any tips? You know,
Glad to have met
sure.
these lads right here. Then
it's all and the only reason we're all here right now is because of Josie Woe. So if you're not subbed to Josie Woe and you like Nintendo, you better sub to Josie Woe.
Definitely subscribe to Josie Woe for sure.
Yeah.
The
I know
Woers.
this would exist. Yes. All right. So yeah, thanks so much for anyone who tuned in to this Final Fantasy VII Rebirth conversation. It is getting super freaking late for all of us. We all need to literally go to bed. Chi has work in the morning. You gotta go to bed, dude. This was so much fun. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the future on our channels or anywhere else. Peace out.
Peace.